And literally it's just me at this house. I don't even know whose house it was. It's me and like 20 gays around me, and it's just me, which I live. But also I'm like, what was I doing? I was also so skinny. Like it was just like so weird. I never made it to the actual festival. I was just like, I remember just being dropped off at a Motel 6 at like 5 a.m. and it was just like really sketchy and... Is that the Wendy, right? Let's just become her at this point. Hi, guys. Welcome back to Just Trish, or we like to call the Wendy adjacent. If you can't have Wendy, you get me. A little nicer. But once I get older, I'm going to go back to my mean self, I feel. I'm going to become more Wendy, more real. I don't want to call it even me. I don't know.
Unfiltered.
Isn't that a podcast? That is a podcast.
Oh my God,
Trigger.
yeah.
Is that
trademarked?
Zane and Heath, right? Yeah. Are they unfiltered?
Maybe it'll be pretty...
Why do they always come up?
Because you stand. We'll be pretty and unfiltered.
I like that.
Instead of pretty X. Yeah.
Okay. I still like unpretty. I think that could be us.
Yeah.
I thought of another name for us too. God. Oh man, I had such a good one the other night when I was like falling asleep. It was so good. Oh, I know, the wannabes. Because
that is us.
Everyone's doing headscarves for Coachella this weekend. I'm like, we should have done headscarves, but we're so far behind. We got the hats. Yeah, we're still in the hat period. Because Tana's like, oh, everyone's doing headscarves for Coachella. I was like, damn, we should have done the headscarves. I was like, oh man, we're kind of behind, but I we always say we feel like the it people now, and hence why we have it boy, it they.
Yes.
Because I was like, for the first time, it feels like, we're kind of getting our own little fan base. We're not like attached to anybody else's. Because I feel like we've always been like that. You were with Strawberry and Joey. I've been with like Shane and David. And it's like, now we're kind of like our own little it squad. Anyways, that's how we feel.
I feel that too.
A little bit. Not too much. Don't worry. You don't have to humble us. We're still very hard on ourselves.
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll never be like, the Call Her Daddies or whatever. Or the Joe Rogans. But
maybe one day. That's the aspiration.
But even if we hit that, we can never think that. You know what I mean?
No, and we never will. Yeah. We never will because we hate our bodies and our faces. So I think those are like hot people that are like, we're so hot. Like I will always hate myself more than you hate me. So
tea spilled.
We're trying. I mean, we're trying. Yeah. You sounded like, speaking of Plain Jane, that's what you sounded like. Remember when? Yeah, when Q was like sharing their their story about HIV. Yeah. Like, what did Plain Jane say?
Was he Mama, kudos for that. For spilling.
Yeah, for spilling. For spilling, like just such a serious moment, but we love Plain Jane for that. My eye is watering. My lips are probably crusted with toasted. You guys, this is the Just Trish podcast. Shout out to we have a highlights channel now. Is it what's the ad again? You did change it.
Just Trish Highlights.
Just Trish Highlights. Everyone's like, what was this channel before? You'll never know. Because we had subscribers, but go subscribe. We appreciate it. We're doing highlights now. Just so exciting.
It is fun.
You're so good too. You're like creating, it's almost like a new podcast, like new title, new thumbnail. It's like 3 new captivating titles.
Yeah, shout out Jimmy. He's adding more like clips and B-roll and stuff too since they're shorter.
Wow,
they can
really?
Throw in a little bit, yeah.
Oh my, okay. Work.
Yeah, he's repackaging them a little bit. So it's a little fresh even if you've seen the show already. Go in.
Oh, I didn't know. Yeah. Okay, and you're doing the thumbnails, right?
Yeah.
They're so good. And I didn't know we're adding, but we we have a really good Just Trish team. Shout out Jimmy and Oscar. So go check out the highlights. Also check out Patreon, patreon.com/justtrish. We post bonus videos there. I did a reacting to music videos. We have reacting to Oscar's old videos. A lot of you guys miss Moses in the Patreon videos. We're going to try and incorporate Moses more. I don't know what we're maybe reacting to his poetry. That's what I was thinking. A little slam poetry action there.
Yes.
And then they won't miss me anymore.
No. Well, because he doesn't love like fast food and stuff. So it's like if we go to Wendy's, I mean, you've eaten Wendy's before on the Patreon, even though he doesn't remember that. But you know what they have now is Domino's has like a New York style pizza.
Really?
Yeah, it's new. And I was like, gosh, I really, like, honestly, really want to get a Domino's, like, New York style pizza. It looks so good.
Oh.
So I was like, oh, that's a Patreon.
I love that you're breaking this news to me. That's a big hot topic.
I love breaking the news because we tried the Wendy's Dreamsicle. That's coming up soon. So anyways, you guys check it out if you want to see more of this crew right here. Patreon.com/JustTrish. We do extended podcasts. They're almost an hour long after this show. We'll have new headshots and new stickers for next month. Shout out to the people who got the headshots this month. They're already out, so we don't need to show them because you can't get them anymore anyways. So they're shipping out today. It's tax day today, so wait, people would get money back normally, right, on tax day?
Some people do, yeah.
So go spend it on patreon.com/JustTrish. People always say, "Oh, I bought a new car with my tax refund," and I was like, "What job is that? I want to get what's that job where you get money back?" I don't know what that job is. I'm just constantly paying taxes, but I mean, it's fine. I'm not complaining. It's fine. Everything. So, do you pay taxes or do you get money back?
I pay back usually. Or last year I had to pay back. This year I think I also had to pay back.
Like you pay in or pay back? Or I don't know what it is.
Or pay. So I paid something.
Paid something.
Yeah. I was like, oh my God, I'm used to getting money back. It's never been a lot. It's always been like $100, $200, whatever. And last year I had to pay a lot back. And I was like, well, $600, but that's kind of a lot. This year, I don't know. It stresses me out. So my dad just does it for me. And he has a tax guy. And I'm like, yeah.
Oh, I love that for you.
Yeah. I'm happy my dad's retired because now he's just kind of like my assistant.
Oh my God. Yeah. That's my mom too. It's so great. It's like, I love it. She literally is like nanny during the time when we're podcasting. She ships out my Poshmark. She literally is like, you were to Joey, basically. Yeah. And it's wonderful. She helps me ship out everything. And it's kind of the best. I mean,
it is. And my dad loves it too. Like, he has nothing really to do. So he just like, watch the dogs for me and then do whatever little tasks I need.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's everything. Yeah, because I mean, when you retire, you still want to do something.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
He almost wanted to get a job like at Target or something because he kind of got bored.
Oh my God. Like, you did too, didn't you? Didn't you? Like, I want to get a job at Target.
That was out of boredom. It was out of poverty.
You're like, no, not poverty. I remember you said that. No, Target's a slay though. Like, honestly, that's a good job. Like,
no, it is.
There.
Yeah, we both worked there. I didn't hate it, to be honest. Yeah. I mean, we both did electronics. I feel like that's like the better department.
Is it now because it's like no one's buying CDs anymore?
That's
you know what I mean?
Or like cameras. No one's really buying cameras.
They're so expensive at Target, anyways. Like TVs are more expensive than if you go to like Costco or something. Best Buy, all those things.
I was so good at selling a TV though, because I would Yeah, I would I knew like the base amount of information, but I would always just kind of like spice it up a little bit. I'm like, this is the one, the pixels, LED, and I would say like liquid something display. Like I was
liquid display. What's a liquid display?
No idea, but I was selling it.
Oh, you didn't know? That's even better. No, but that's what's so good about you is you can just like you do sell things. You make things like so much more. That's why you're good at thumbnails and titles because it makes it seem like this podcast is way more juicy than it is. It's like forgiving David Dobrik. Who are we forgiving this week? Forgiving JoJo. I might be forgiving JoJo this week. I have a Call Her Daddy redemption for her that I kind of felt a little sympathy for her. So, anyways, we love you. You know who else you remind me of? Oh my God, when you're talking about taxes is, who do you think?
Who?
You also remind me of David from Schitt's Creek. Did you ever watch that show?
Oh, I've never seen Schitt's Creek.
Wait, what?
I know.
How come?
I know, that's so good.
It is kind of a me-coded show. I know from what I've seen. But I think I just like heard about it too late.
We did too.
So I never like went back to watch it. But maybe I will. Maybe I'll like
You have to.
And like watch something like 5 years later.
Well, we kind of did too because we found out about it during quarantine, which I guess is like when a lot of people like rediscovered it, but I guess it came out before. But especially now on TikTok, I keep seeing clips. We talk about like literally we have our guest room Schitt's Creek theme. Like we like, and I did not think I would like it. When people were telling me the explanation of it, I was like, no. And when I saw the cast, I was like, no. But honestly, the cast is like so good. I was like, why was I so judgy? I was like, absolutely not. Like I only knew Eugene Levy from was Cheaper by the Dozen, and I never liked him in that movie. So I was like, oh no, he's like not funny. But now I'm like obsessed with him. I'm obsessed with obviously Catherine O'Hara. Like I love her Beetlejuice. But David, what's his name? Oh, what is his name? Do you know? Eugene Levy's son. Dan Levy?
Oh, Dan Levy, yeah.
Yeah, but you remind me so much of the character David he plays because he talks about taxes and he's like, God, do you know which one I'm talking about? That scene where he's like,
what do you mean? Just write it off.
Oh yeah, he goes, you write it off. He's like, who writes it off? He's like, who pays for it? He's like, nobody. You write it off. He's like, who writes it off? I don't know, the tax people.
The write-off people.
Yeah, it's such a good clip, and it's like so, and it's kind of true though. It's a write-off. He's like, who pays for it? I'm like, I don't know. Like that is true. I don't know. Anyways, you're so that coded. Dan Levy felt like never really. I mean, maybe he's like super successful writing. I don't know, but like acting wise, he never really got like a role that was like amazing after that.
Yeah, because he was so popular. He won like Emmys and I think maybe Golden Globes too. I imagine he won a lot of awards, especially that last season. But yeah,
he's so good on the show. And then I saw one movie he was in. I don't think it's his fault. I think the movie was just awful. Do you remember that Christmas movie? There was like a Christmas movie he was in.
I think in movies he's always been like a supporting small character. And then TV is just a whole different world.
Well, like Haunted Mansion, you like blinked and missed him. Everyone's like, "Oh, Dan Levy's in it." And I was like, "Oh, I want to see because I like love him." And then like he was in like literally like he was like a tour guide or something, and like for a minute of the scene, which I love him. But maybe because he wrote did he write the show Schitt's Creek too?
I think he was a writer on it. Yeah.
Maybe if you like write the show and like and it was just he was just so good. All of them were so good. I really miss them. Anyways, you should watch it because you're very David coded and he's wonderful. I just love that. I love that.
Yeah,
I love the show.
the
I see
episodes are
clips.
super short, so we would just,
Oh, you know what?
it was
I
like a
had
filler episode between stuff we watched.
Yeah.
I had a situationship, I think,
Ooh.
and I watched an episode with him. But I think maybe that's why I'm like turned off by it. And
yeah.
this is a repressed memory that just got brought up. But yeah, I remember we watched
Oh.
an episode together, and he like quoted it all the time, and he did like a Catherine O'Hara like voice all the time.
Is he on TikTok?
I have no idea.
Your ex, the situationship, is he on TikTok?
I have no idea. You know, once it's done, like I cut it off and I never look back.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I follow up with that. Really? There's a guy that does Moira impressions on TikTok.
Is he like skinny blonde?
No.
No, he's dark
okay.
hair. He's skinny, but dark hair.
Unless maybe he dyed his hair. I don't know.
That
but
would be wild if it's the same person. And was he good at it? Because he's so good at
He was
Moira.
pretty good, I think.
He's like, David, I can't do it. I'm really bad at impressions sometimes, but oh, maybe it's him. Oh my god, we got to track it down. That would be everything. I would love that. You were like turned off by it. You were like,
At the time I was like not turned off by it, but I think post I was like anything that like reminded me of like wanted to hate, I guess.
yeah. That's how I was with Curb, because he always like, let's watch a new season of Curb, but it's like I was with someone that like was obsessed with Curb Your Enthusiasm, and like at the time I was like, okay, I'll watch it. Even at the time I like didn't really like find it that funny, but I was like, but maybe I would find it funny now because everyone loves that show. I don't know though. I don't think I would like it, right? He's kind of just like angry all the time, right?
Yeah, I mean, when I started watching it, I had to stop because it was just giving me anxiety. The show is all
Yeah.
about when something can go wrong, it will go wrong and then wrong again. And at some point when you realize that's
But you want to watch it.
show, then I just want to watch the last season because I think in the last episode they have another like Seinfeld reunion type thing.
You love Seinfeld.
And I just like that idea, the reunion.
I like Seinfeld with you. I used to watch Seinfeld with someone too, a different person. And I was like, I hated Seinfeld. It's like Friends too. I think I have like trauma for Friends because my sister and my mom would watch all the time. And I was like, I hated that show growing up because I wanted to watch like Full House. And they're like, let's watch Friends. And I was like, I don't want to watch Friends. So I think I like hate Friends. And I think I'm the only person that hates Friends. Do you watch it?
Not recently, but
like
I
it?
did.
Did you
and
like it?
I liked it at the time, yeah.
I don't like it. Like if you did Friends trivia with me, like, I don't know. I couldn't even tell you like the characters' names. I know there's like Ross and Rachel and like everyone else. I have no idea. And it's just like, and Seinfeld was right there at the same time as Friends. And I was kind of like, and anything in New York, you know this about me.
Oh, yeah.
In New York, even
yeah.
I was on Cancel. We'll talk about that in a minute. But like Brooke was talking about how like she loves Sex and the City, and Tana's like into Sex and the City. Like you have to watch Sex and the City. I'm like, and I, you know, I want to be with the cool girls. I was like, yes, I'm gonna watch it. But I was like, oh, and I never want to be this person. But I'm like, oh, I hate shows in New York. The only one I liked was You because it was like You. But other than that, I was like, I liked it better when they came to LA.
Oh yeah.
But anyways, I like your Knuff shirt. Ryan Gosling fan over here.
yeah.
He's a Ryan Gosling fan. He's like, we need to watch SNL. And I was like, why? He's like, Ryan Gosling's on. And you knew like all the skits before they even came on. You're like, oh yeah, no, wait, watch this one. This one's good. I was like, did you watch this without
No,
me and want me to watch it again?
The thing that turned me on this episode was the Beavis and Butthead skit. Because I saw a glimpse of it on TikTok. And I was like, okay, I gotta watch it.
Were you a
This
Beavis and
looks really
Butthead
good.
fan?
No, but it just looked really good.
Did you watch any of it?
I watched that skit.
Did you think it was funny?
I thought it was funny. I
it
like
was funny.
when they break character and giggle at themselves.
Yeah.
I think it's funnier. Because I'm like, oh, if you're laughing at yourself, then it must be really funny.
Right. There's some inside tea like in person. She could yeah. I like it too. I think people like that too. And I think that's why then it becomes funny. Then it becomes like you can't control the giggles, and then it becomes like one of those things.
It's so much better that way. Even if you don't really get the joke, I'm like, I didn't get why it was that funny.
Right.
But they were giggling at themselves. I'm like, oh my god, this is hilarious.
But you know what I thought is Ryan Gosling like did like low key look so much like him, and I'm like, that's actually
He
kind of crazy.
did, yeah.
Like I didn't even think there was a prosthetic on his nose. I thought like he kind of looks like him just naturally like that. He has that kind of sharp nose.
Yeah.
Kind of everything.
I know. And I saw the monologue too, the Taylor Swift like
Oh, okay.
I'm like, that's cute.
Did she respond, right? I saw on Us Weekly's like she responds.
Yeah.
What did she say?
She
I didn't read it.
said she might perform that version on tour.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so she's in on it. She was having a good time this weekend. There's so many angles we can go because there's like Coachella, Taylor Swift, and people thinking, you know, whatever. And then there's the canceled. We have the Ryan Gosling. I didn't even know the lady, what's her name? Emily Blunt.
Emily Blunt.
I didn't know she was like in Oppenheimer.
Yeah, she was the wife, Oppenheimer's wife, I think. Mrs. Oppenheimer.
Mrs. Oppenheimer. Apparently an alcoholic according to the monologue, because the monologue was just like, I was drinking beer, and I was like, I didn't even know she was in this. Kind of thought maybe this is me being a little bit, I feel like maybe I'm a hater today. I'm trying not to be, because I really did meditate this morning, because I was like, let me just think of what I'm going to say about topics or whatever. This is not one of those things I meditated on. So, but I was like, she kind of like hijacked his monologue a little bit, right? Like it was kind of like, it became Barbie and Oppenheimer, and I get why, but also like she's not Oppenheimer. To me, I just think of Cillian Murphy, right? Or Cillian Murphy or whatever.
Yeah.
So I was like, I didn't even know she was in it. To me, she's the lady that makes fun of the Chili's waitress for being too fat. Like that's how I thought. And I was like, wait, she's kind of like stealing his moment here. You know, this is his Barbie Ken moment. I don't know, maybe that's just me being a hater. Maybe it's the patriarchy, the misogyny, the internal misogyny. And there could be in there. I do have the internal misogyny in there sometimes.
I think because like they're promoting their movie and it's very much like a two-parter, The Fall Guy, you know?
Oh,
So
I don't know.
I think, and also the Barbenheimer connection, I think they're really marketing it that way, this film. So
I think Emily
that's
Blunt's
why.
just one of those people who should just be a good actress and not marketing the movie. Do you know what I mean? Because I think people have that. You know, there's just certain people that have like a bad taste in people's mouth, right? Don't you think Emily Blunt's one of those people, or am I just being like hater? Because I don't even like
think
hater.
you have the Chili's resentment still.
Okay, maybe
I
that's
think
it.
that has something to do with it. I mean, I
Okay.
don't think, and she's British, and I feel like that also.
Oh,
has something to
immediately
do with
no.
it.
Yeah.
The Chili's
Immediately
and the
no.
British. I think
That's what it is. They come on and they think they're so much better with you
they're
with
a
their
little more
accent.
posh.
They're like,
But
oh no.
when she's with like John Krasinski, like they're very cute and like they do a lot of projects together. So when they promote together, they're very cute and like bounce off of each other.
Because they're married,
And,
right?
Yeah.
Wow.
And people love them together.
Oh, okay. So maybe that's me being a hater. I can admit, that's what I'm saying. I can admit sometimes where I'm like, oh, like I was like, oh, she's so annoying. But I think that's just me being like the hater. I don't know. Because Moses is like, literally, she comes on the screen. He's like, who's that? I was like, no idea. I don't want to like even go into it. And like, oh, she's in the movie and whatever. They literally said her name too before. They literally said Emily Blunt. And you're like, who's that? I'm like, I don't
Because
know.
also like they're trying to put them as equal, and they're not. Like his coming out of Barbie movie was not the same as her coming out of Oppenheimer.
Well, that's what he said. He's like, you didn't
Like,
win America's
he
hearts.
was-
But I think they're
yeah.
pretty equal stardom wise, right? Or no?
I think so. Yeah. And like box office wise, I think technically Emily Blunt probably pulls in more money
no.
than.
What's her big ones?
I mean, like Devil Wears Prada, Quiet Place was like really big, 1 and 2.
Never saw it. Never heard of any of those.
And like Ryan Gosling before Barbie never really pulled in like money at the box office besides like, I don't know, Crazy Stupid Love, I guess.
Probably
But, like,
Notebook.
Yeah, I don't even know if that did well in the box office,
really?
but like post, like
People live for that
obviously,
movie.
Yeah. But like he's
I
done a
know
whole
what
bunch
you're
of
saying.
movies that kind of flop, so
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never really thought of Ryan Gosling, period, before the Barbie movie. And now we love him. Now we're a stan. Now we're wearing the Knuff sweatshirt. Moses is the ultimate stan. He's like, let's watch Ryan Gosling. I was like, okay.
Well, I'm just trying to be ahead of fashion. This just came out, so I don't know if everyone.
We're always so much TikTok shop.
Like, trying to kind of lead the way.
I don't even know where you found that.
fashion-wise.
I swore I gave it away to Poshmark. I'm like, wait, where did you find? We had a lot of them. We did order like 5 of them when the movie came out. We're like, because you remember at the end when you saw the sweatshirt, everyone's like, that is so cool. But now
Yes.
everyone wears them off like TikTok shop.
This
It's like,
It didn't take like a couple of months to
Yeah,
even
literally.
arrive. Like we were over it by the time we got it.
yeah,
But
definitely.
I don't know. I feel like I'm embodying him now in my real life.
You could look like Ryan Gosling. You just need a blonde wig.
Yeah. No, I don't like the blonde.
He hates blonde wigs. When I made him be Ken, not it.
If I dye it like he has dark roots and dye it.
Ooh,
Yeah.
very
Then, yeah.
Zayn.
Which one?
Josh.
Oh, okay. I was like Zayn Malik. Like, why do we love Zayn and Heath so much? Like, I actually don't know why. I actually went to their Instagrams for the first time forever. I was trying to see, are they all at the guest house? Like, what's happening at Coachella? Like, I don't know
my
what
God.
it is. I'm having a Zayn and Heath resurgence. Thanks, Remy and Alicia. I don't know. We used to listen to them like years ago, like literally when we would drive like
my
long
God.
distances. But I literally haven't thought about them, and now like that's all we talk about. Them. They're on that Zila Fitness. They look good. They look good, and I always love when like influencers like can keep it going. Like they get views,
Yeah.
outside of David. I think that's even more impressive.
You're so right.
You know?
Yeah.
I applaud that.
They were able to really pivot, and not a lot of them could. So
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, I think so. And I feel like, yes, they may have like problematic pasts, who amongst us doesn't, but I'm just saying, like, I feel like they haven't been in a long time, at least not openly.
Yeah, they haven't really made many waves, I guess, since like
Yeah.
pandemic era, I guess, right? Because that's when
Right.
the last time I heard about
The masks or something and
like,
no
anti-vaccine and
vaccines.
stuff, whatever.
Just hot takes that you don't need to say online.
Yeah, totally,
like, especially
yeah.
with vaccines, like everyone, those are so like such a thing that people are so polarized with.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, just don't say it. You don't need to say it online. Just do what you do or don't do what you do.
Yeah. Sometimes sharing too much, it could get you in trouble. Is
that a transition?
Coming from us. No. Oh,
I know. My whole thing is now sharing. I'm like, I don't like drama. Meanwhile, I'm like, just a whole drama podcast. I mean, it's fine. As long as I'm not in it, although we are in it this week. But and when I say we, you're part of it.
Am I?
Yeah, you inserted it. I saw a little Reddit post.
We'll get there. We'll get there. I was trying to make peace.
No, it was good. It was actually really good.
But we do have to address some things at the top. First of all, apologies to our audio listeners. They didn't like that we diminished their presence. Apparently, there's a lot more of them than I thought.
There's a lot of audio listeners, including the company who does our ads, which we have a really good ad. We have a really big ad next week, like a mainstream big, like we use it all the time ad. And they were like, no, you get like a lot of downloads actually. And like when I think when CA was doing the release, they wanted to know how many downloads we did. We get like so many like audio. I was like, oh, okay, so sorry to our audio listeners. Sorry you can't see us though. I feel like. Anyways, keep listening because I guess the audio is important. And our ad people are like, the audio is important. Just tell them go to the audio. I was like, okay, sorry. Listen
we'll
to that
start
first.
describing things better. Like we'll start describing our looks so you can like picture it. Which maybe is the tea. Like maybe just picture what we look like because I feel like we'll be hotter that way.
That's so true. I feel like I sound hotter for sure. I definitely sound like just like Elle Woods or something, just like super hot. Who do you think you sound like? I think you sound like David from Schitt's Creek.
I was gonna say that.
For our audio listeners, he looks like David. You look like him a little bit too.
I'll take it. Yeah, he's skinny. So yeah. And tall. Isn't he kind of tall?
Yeah,
like
he looks like it.
Or something, right?
I think the girl that plays his sister is so tall, so it's hard to tell. But yeah, he's pretty tall.
Yeah, so I'll definitely take it.
We can do a little pause every time. It's like, to our audio listeners, Trisha is wearing a pink hat right now, holding a microphone with a crop top.
I'm always
Her
wearing
belly
pink.
is showing in case that.
Oh, the belly is showing today.
And with fuzzy
I don't know what it
shoes.
looks like. It looks cute standing up, but I always feel like when it sits down, it literally just looks like blob at this point.
No,
this baby's coming soon.
It looks really pretty. Every time I see her, I'm like, wow, it looks so cute.
Thank
Like,
you.
the
I
belly
feel
looks
this
amazing.
baby. Thank you so much. I feel like she's coming like. Literally, like, could happen today. I really feel it. I feel the pressure so much. Like, she would be like a month early if she came today, but I really feel like she's coming like any day.
And it's very possible. Like my sister had her second baby 3 weeks earlier. So suddenly we realized, like, the minute May hits, it can happen any day.
Oh my God.
And she feels it. She has the same symptoms as the end of the last pregnancy.
Yeah, it does feel that same way. So I feel like it's pressure and I don't know, it feels so real. I was just like, oh my God, it's gonna come, but she's not supposed to come for like a month, but in my head I think it's like next week. We have like 5 guests filmed back to back this week because I think like we're not gonna have any time to do. I don't know, it's so silly.
I mean, we might be live, filming the water breaks.
Oh
And
my gosh, that would be
That'd be
crazy.
whoever's the
That'd be
guest, I'm like, take care of Melly before the next couple of days.
well, my mom is upstairs, just like, bye, gotta go.
I'm just thinking it's like a movie.
I'm ready. But anyways, shout out to our audio listeners. We love you.
And then the second thing I saw is that you kept getting the canceled producer's name wrong.
That's not true. Moses showed me that too. There's no way. What did I say? His name's Alex.
I think it's Aaron.
I don't think so. Did we fact check it? Because I'm like 1,000% it's Alex.
I did listen to an episode of Canceled where Tana is talking to someone named Aaron.
No.
Yeah.
Because I so remember, I'm like, his name's Alex. No, we need a fact. Someone fact check this. There's no way.
Did he change his name, maybe?
Maybe it's a different one. There's no way I would get it wrong twice.
You didn't reach out to Tana first.
Apologies. I know.
I personally would have remembered Aaron because it's like Moses and Aaron. I was, like.
Well, I feel like we just said we never got introduced properly. Not to blame the canceled girls because we love them forever. They can do no wrong. Okay, apologies to Aaron. Let's hope it's Aaron. Okay, I don't know if people. I saw a comment where Moses pointed out, and I was like, I don't know if that's trolling, but anyways, I'm horrible with names. I always have been. That's why I don't say anything. But I just thought this one was so. Anyways. Shout out to the Oscars, the Aarons, and the Alexes, just in case. That's why
Cover
people need
all
to
the
have.
bases. Yeah,
we need to have more unique names so it's like easy to remember. Like the person I made makeup this morning, Apollo. I was like, I'll remember Apollo. We need those names: Alex, Aaron, Oscar, Jim. I mean, we love them, but these names, it's hard to keep them all straight. They all just sound like boy band names or something. Shout out Aaron at Canceled.
Well, should we get into Coachella? Because I feel like that's the hottest and like most silly, unserious.
We love an
tea that we
unserious
can
moment.
Get into. Yeah. First of all, at the top, I really think that you should perform next year because I can really see it. I think after reacting to your music videos, I'm like, wow, the discography, there's a lot in there.
I could crush it for sure.
Yeah.
And I feel like the performances in general, like I'm not a Coachella person, so maybe I'm just like so off with this, but like performances in general seem to be like low key, right? They don't do too much.
Some are low key. Like Doja Cat was last night and she had a lot going on.
Like, I didn't see Doja.
Usually like the headliner, like the headliner has like a lot of like set pieces, dancers and stuff. But then a lot of like the daytime acts, they have like, it's like more of a simple setup, like band, you know, maybe some graphics on the screen.
Yeah, like Ice Spice seemed like killing it with her dance moves, but I just thought hers was very basic.
Yeah, like not
in a good way.
Like big production.
Big production, thank you. Yeah, not basic back, because she was like, I mean, she was getting the cheers with her butts and stuff like that. Like I lived for it in her new songs. I loved it. But I was like, oh, I thought it was like even Lana, right? She didn't have like big sets.
Yeah, like it was just like her and a backup singer. She did come in on a motorcycle, which is kind of like a big production, and left on a motorcycle. But
she was getting like kind of like nailed in the media this morning, right? People were saying it wasn't good, but everyone loved it. The stands loved it, but like
the critics,
critics were saying we don't like this.
I know. I thought she sounded great. I mean, I watched clips like from the YouTube live stream. She looked amazing. Oh my gosh, she looked so good.
Yeah,
she sounded good. I mean, she had audio issues, but that's not really her fault. It's like Coachella's fault, I guess, because her mics kept going in and out. But she still slayed.
There was a lot of Grimes had audio issues.
Yeah.
Was it her fault or the festival's fault?
She hired someone to help her with her DJ set. Like, I don't understand DJ stuff, but like to get the songs like queued up or something. Like she had someone help her do it, and then they messed it up, and then she couldn't like fix it in real time.
So what happened? She just stopped?
She kept trying to fix it. I guess like I had a DJ friend explain it to me. First of all, I don't know how the DJs do it because it sounds crazy, but like the songs was going like 2 times fast, and then you had to like do the math to like figure out how much to subtract to slow it down to keep it like going the same pace or whatever. She like lost track of the math, and then she like kind of freaked out.
We would fail instantly.
Oh my god, instantaneously.
If it was math, no, absolutely not.
You would have to go a cappella.
I could. I'd have a Christina and Burlesque moment. Have you watched that movie yet? Okay, you need to watch it, but it wasn't Julian Huff pulls the plug and then she's like, haha, you can't lip sync, and then she's like, oh, that would be me.
That would be you.
Like, I'm ready for my moment. I'd bring Alan Cumming on stage as my
special
guest. Yeah. That'd be everything. I love the special guest. I missed Harry Styles at Coachella.
Yeah. When was that? 2 years ago?
Maybe 2 years. Have you ever seen his performance?
At Coachella? Yeah, I saw clips.
With his little like rainbow sequin jumpsuit, and then there's one with Pink where he brought Lizzo out in pink. And he's everything.
Did you just see his Coachella performance?
Yes,
I love that.
Because I was like typing in Harry Styles Pink, and I think it came up to his Coachella performance, and then I was like, oh my god, I would 100% go to Coachella if Harry Styles was there.
I love that you're a Harry stan now.
I miss. Did you go to a show in LA? I wish I would have gone to a show in LA.
Not the second one, his first one from the first album.
You love Harry the best too, right?
Yeah, I loved Harry. I kind of fell off a little bit, but I'll get back on. I was like a Harry stan.
Get back on, because we need to do like Harry cosplay.
Okay, love that.
Yeah, but I think everyone's a Harry fan, but I think it's like people try to pick someone quirky. So it's like Justin Timberlake back in the day, before he was like, we found out he was to Britney Spears. Like, everyone loved Justin, but they would pick Chris Kirkpatrick to just be different. You know what I mean?
See, yeah. So like in the One Direction days.
Like, who likes Niall? Niall?
Niall.
No one likes Niall.
There were some Niall girls, but you're right. They were few and far between. And Louis also.
Nobody likes Louis.
Girls weren't as frequent. I was a semi-Louis girl. I had a Louis doll and a Harry doll.
You liked Harry better.
Liam. Liam was my number one at first, then it switched to Harry. But then, this is very specific, but on Tumblr, in the Tumblr days, there was a photo of Louis in a wetsuit, and he had a really good butt, and then I became a Louis girl.
Just because of his butt?
Yeah, that one
Harry
photo
probably
of
has
him
a skinny
in a
butt. He probably has like a little butt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Because there's also... He also had like little swim trunks in the summer, and I don't remember seeing like a butt on Harry.
Do you think, what's when you like Louis? Who had the butt?
Louis, yes.
Louis. Would he pose with his butt, or you just saw it?
He was just surfing at the beach. It was a paparazzi photo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Do you think when guys, this is like so different, and we're not like outing anybody or anything, but it's like, do you think when guys pose like with their butt towards the camera, do you think that means they're gay, or do you think they could be straight?
Nowadays, I think you can be straight, because butts are like very in right now. Like Instagram, like a lot of like the fitness like Instagram guys that are like straight, they all like will clickbait with reels with their butts now. Like they'll start where like, you know, it's always like the getting dressed, like they're in the like little undies or whatever.
Right.
And then they like struggle, quote unquote, to pull their jeans up over their butts. They're like, oh, can't get my jeans up over my butt.
To get views though.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
interesting.
the guys are milking the butts these days.
Okay, because I always wondered that, because I did see someone and I was like, that's interesting because, like, I know, like, even just privately, Moses would never just, like, show me his butt. You know what I mean? Which, I mean, it's like, I guess it's like a thing now people like, but it's like, even, like, he always wears the baggiest jeans, so you just can't see anything. So I was just like, that's so weird. Not that I'm a butt person per se. I really don't look at butts like that. But now I see it on Instagram, and I'm like, oh, interesting, because you never see, usually they, like, if they pose with their butt, but I guess that makes sense.
I'm pretty sure I read something kind of recently where women are starting to get more into men's butts now.
I wonder why. What is
people.
it?
I have no idea. I really have no idea.
Because you're not really pushing. Like, if you're the girl, you're not really pushing. Because I get the butts in general for straight men, gay men. Because you're pushing into a butt. That makes sense, right?
Yeah, T.
Okay, so that's. But like a girl, you're not gonna.
I guess you just grab onto it.
Right, and guys do like that. Like when you have like when they're on top of you and their hands are like on their back. Sometimes I've had guys like move it to their butt. They want it like in the butt. It's like, oh, okay.
I think guys do like that.
Oh, okay. Well, that's tea. Something I learned. I don't know. You know, I was never good at like sex in general. Like I'm just not, because it's like, how do you learn to be good at it? So when people would like move my hand, I was just like, oh, okay, I don't know. Okay, I guess this is. But then some guys don't like it because sometimes I would grab a butt and like what, and they're like, oh no, not the butt. I'm like, oh my god, okay. It's too many things, especially with guys. There's too many people who like things and don't like things, and I'm just like, I can't.
Oh yeah.
I just keep my hands down.
That is a safe bet, yeah, because it is the worst when like all of a sudden your hand goes somewhere and then they hate it. Because I remember one time I hooked up with someone and then they like said beforehand, which I thought was awkward at the time, but then I was like, actually, I'm glad you said it, because it was like his no was like nipples or like the and I feel like my hands would like go there like naturally, you know.
I think that's a lot of people's no. I've been told that a lot.
Really?
Yeah, they don't like. And then some people love it. Some people like play with them. I'm like, okay.
And then he didn't have a problem with the butt stuff, but like you couldn't, like you could grab it. He liked when you grabbed it, but nothing like
smack
past,
it.
like nothing past inside, like, you know, no slippage, no slippage. Yeah.
That's confusing too, because a lot of straight guys too will like a little bit, will not. So it's like, I don't know. Some people, and some people are like, absolutely not. And then some people are like, yeah, I like that. Like, I don't know. Like, it's so confusing.
Yeah, it is. That's why maybe it is like the thing to do is just to say it right off the top. Like, yes,
this is what I like.
That's why I appreciate Sacha Baron Cohen. He's very clear.
He likes the.
He tells you, yeah.
That is wild. God, thank God we don't have any Sacha Baron Cohen news today. Oh, man, but God, I still like him though. Isn't that crazy? This is what I'm talking about. This is the theme of today, the internal misogyny. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Internal misogyny. Where it's like, I feel like it's so real. And it's like, I feel that because with Sacha Baron Cohen, it's like, I'm totally on like Rebel Wilson side, but I'm just like, I look at you sometimes like, you kind of look like him. Or, you know, there's some things, whatever. And I'm just like, I kind of like him. I don't know why. Maybe it's the bad boy.
But can you separate the person from their art? You know, like.
Well, I guess I just don't think of him. Yeah, I don't know, because I don't like his art and I don't like him as a person. So I think, I don't know. I just guess you think he's hot or something. I guess I like that he's like, I don't know. I actually have no idea why I like him. I just think he's like hot. I've had like so many dreams about him, and I'm just like, maybe the height, maybe the tallness, maybe he's big. Moses pointing out he has like this big head. He's just like a big guy, and I don't know.
He's really odd. Yeah, when you meet him in person, it's really odd. Like the one thing you notice is how big his head is.
Moses has met him in person. Moses knows the Sacha Baron Cohen tea, the SBC tea. He knows everybody. I was like, okay, I don't know. I've had dreams so much about him lately, and it's like, I'll probably get over it because I really don't like anything about him. But I like him for some reason. The other internal misogyny thing was, it was in my head and then it went, Meghan Markle. Like just seeing her. Did you see her with the cup?
Oh, yeah.
The polo thing where she told the lady, there's a lady trying to get, she obviously wants to be next to Harry because, like, who would want to be next to Meghan? Whatever. Anyways, maybe you want to be. In this instance, Harry won the polo cup. So someone wanted a picture next to Harry. And she told a woman, like, 3 times to come by her and take a picture and not stand next to Harry. And I was like, this. Like, I was so, and I know when I went on the Julia Fox podcast too, they told me I had internal misogyny because I didn't like Meghan Markle. And I kind of believe it because there's really no reason why I need to dislike her. But I literally found myself like texting my mom and because we're both like haters on her for no reason. And I'm just like, oh my God, this is so annoying. Like, why would she not let her have a picture with Harry? And again, being up there with the cup, she did it. This is the second time. No one else's wives or girlfriends are up there. And Meghan Markle's like front and center with it. And I know she's getting a lot of hate. So I'm like, maybe I don't want to be on this. But they're also doing a Netflix show. So maybe they want the controversy. But it's the one person that I'm like, I guess her and Emily Blunt, where I'm just like, oh my God, this person. And it's crazy because I really don't feel like I'm that hard on like, am I hard on guys? I guess I'm not as hard on guys and celebrity guys. Influencer guys, yes, because I know them and they're awful. But I think like celebrity guys like Sacha Baron Cohen, who's awful. He might be like the David Dobrik of the mainstream, and I'm just like, love him. Yeah.
I think you come around though for the most part. Like Meghan Markle, I don't know if I love her. I like her. And I think she got the Rachel Zegler. She got the Rachel Zegler like hate train and the media thing. So I think that was also why, because I understand how people can like hate her. Even with Rachel Zegler, I understand why people didn't like her because you see like the worst parts of like a highlight reel, right? Like every headline and every like TikTok, every video you see, like it's just a hate train. So you see the worst parts of someone over and over and over again, and that's the impression that you have of someone. But then you have to like always think about like why is this like media being like promoted so much, like what do people have against her? And it's like, oh, it's like a woman, especially she's like a black woman, and she is marrying into the royal family, and it's like a white man, and then the biracial kid. There's like all these things that go into it, and you're like, oh, like this is why. And then you see the good stuff of them. Like I saw their like Netflix documentary, and then you see like where she came from, where she grew up, and how she's close with her family, and how she like likes to give back. And then you're like, wow, she's not that bad. Same with like Rachel Zegler. I'm like, once you dissect it and you see the good parts of someone, it's like, why they can't make me hate you.
But what about like Renee Rapp? She's like a hate train, right? But she doesn't have like the adversity against her. Like, why do you think she gets like the hate train?
Renee?
Yeah, you remember when she was like the thing was about old people, and then there was something else, and there was like this whole thing like for a minute where she was like people were trying to cancel her. I mean, not just everything because Coachella people live for her, but I'm just like saying in general she was getting kind of the hate train treatment.
Kind of, but I think she is. There is an element of like. I mean, not to get too into it, but there is an element of like her being like a white blonde girl that lessens it a lot. Like Rachel and Megan are both like women of color, so it's a little bit different. And I think Renee too is overall very likable in general, like her personality and her humor. And she's a lesbian, so lesbians are cool.
Like, what about Emily Blunt? She's straight and white. Because I'm trying to think, I'm totally agreeing with you. Like, I do see it from that way. Like, maybe that
Emily
is a
Blunt
reason.
doesn't have like a hate train. I think she has a Trish train, like a Trish hate train. But I think in general people like her.
Fair enough point. Okay, yeah, you're right. Okay, then I really need to not hate because I really don't like see it that way. I get it now. That's why I love you because you do like it does make sense, and I'm like maybe that is the narrative of it all. But yeah, I think Emily Blunt's the worst though. So
it's okay to like not like women. I think like the hate train thing specifically, like I said, when it's almost like you're marketed to hate someone just because you literally see just clips of like things out of context where they just sound terrible. And you're like, oh my god, this girl sucks. But then like if you actually get the full context and then you see like the good stuff about them more, you know,
okay,
you're like, oh, they're not that bad.
You're right. I like Rachel Zegler. What is she going to be in that? I was like, oh, I'm so excited. Heathers.
Yeah.
We want her on the podcast.
Yeah.
I like them. Meghan Markle, I'll try and get back on that train. I don't know.
I know she's not for everyone. She definitely puts a lot of people off, but I think the hate train thing specifically is like...
That's true.
Yeah, especially in the British media. They really like tore her up. So, yeah, because they were like hating Meghan for things, but then like when Kate...
Oh my God, I feel so bad now. I feel guilty. Oh my God. You're right.
No, it
absolutely.
makes sense. Like you're just kind of like a product of like the media. Like,
but then I'm like, oh, I love Sacha Baron Cohen. Like, oh, so awful. Okay, my apologies to Meghan Markle and Rachel Zegler. I was so hard on her. And Meghan Markle, I literally know I like don't like her for no reason. It's like you're right, but I just see those like little clips because it's like people want a picture with like Harry, right? Because he's probably the more famous one, right? Like, wouldn't you rather picture with Harry than Meghan, or you would rather have Meghan?
I would rather have Meghan, yeah. And Suits is like the #1 show randomly, so I think she might be like more popular right now.
Okay. Okay, I'll take it, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, you're right. I think you're right on this. We'll just let this one go, I think. I see it. I can acknowledge it. I'm kind of like, okay, but...
Yeah, because even, like, she read to, like, kids at the children's hospital, like, 2 weeks ago, and all the comments were like, oh, my God, she's so fake. Oh, Kate Middleton has cancer, now she's reading to kids who are sick. And I'm like, she's literally just reading to kids,
yeah, just hating, like, for no reason.
Yeah, it's, like, one of those things. So I feel for her a little bit.
Right. You want me on board again. We're on the neutral train with her.
Good, that's all I can ask for is the neutral. Yeah.
We're fine with her. My baby can be reincarnated Meghan Markle 30, 40 years from now. I guess if I'm pregnant then. I don't know.
Or maybe like a grandchild can be.
Oh, right. Yeah. Wishing nothing but good health for all of them. They seem to be on the up and up. It seems like King Charles is going to mediate between Harry and William and stuff, so they seem to be okay.
I hope so, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think William and Prince George, the boy, they went out to like an event recently too, so I think that's a good sign. Things seem to be good.
Hunky-dory. Yeah. Renee Rapp was at Coachella. What do you think of her?
Yes. Oh, she slayed.
You love Kesha, right?
Yes, I do.
I don't love Kesha, but
I loved Kesha at the time. I haven't like kept up with Kesha, but when she was like new, like those first few songs.
In the morning, that one.
Yeah.
I guess I just like those kind of girls. I was just always like, I just like the pretty. Not that she's not pretty, but she was meant to be like grungy and
yeah.
It's like Avril Lavigne too, who's gorge, But yeah, I think I always just
like the alternative kind of.
Which is
girlies,
weird, yeah. Now I like them, like Gwen Stefani and stuff. But I remember even when Gwen Stefani was out, I was like, oh, she's too tomboy. I liked like the Jessica Simpsons, Christina Aguilera,
I get that.
Mariah.
Because they were marketed to kind of be like the anti that, like the anti like normal pop girl, like Pink when she was like, I don't want to be a stupid girl. I don't want to be Jessica, whatever it was. Like
tired of being compared to damn Britney Spears.
Yeah.
She's so pretty. I think she takes it out of her show now because Britney Spears is getting so much hate. So I think she took that line out.
And I think she even apologized for that stupid girl song where she like was mean to Jessica Simpson too. So.
She was so mean, and that's but like I get it because I get the point of it. It was like, you know, I want to be a girl president. I don't need to be shaking my ass next to 50 Cent. Like I actually lived for that video though because I thought she was so pretty in it. Like I remember thinking, oh, she was like so tan and had her long blonde hair and she was like a sickening body. Yeah, she looked really good. So I remember being like, oh, I kind of like this song. But yeah, kind of a mean song. But in general, I mean, it was just the time too. I think back then people came for those kind of girls.
Yeah, and then it came back around though because now it's like anyone who's like, I'm not like the other girls. Like people
they're
like,
pick me.
roll their eyes. Yeah.
Now you're a pick me girl.
Yeah.
You can't win really.
But Renee Rapp I thought slayed Coachella, and I love that like they changed like the P Diddy line. I was like, that is ballsy.
Oh yeah, they said. Well, you kind of have to, right?
You have to, yeah.
But did that kind of just stop? We were talking about in Glam this morning, like. Everyone's just like forget, like over it.
I think the investigation is ongoing. Yeah. Like I watched a lot of Law and Crime Channel videos about it. Well, one of Diddy's sons, there's a new lawsuit being filed against him, and then I think that once they have like enough evidence, something will happen at some time. Yeah, I feel like something as big as a raid on that level, you don't just like
crazy.
Nothing happens.
I heard that like so allegedly, don't come for me, that like Kim Kardashian was like on the papers or something as like something.
A lot of celebrities are named just because they went to like the parties. Because even like Prince Harry is named like in the suit that was filed by one of Diddy's old producers, the big one that like started everything. But it was just because he was at one of the parties, so anyone who was like in the proximity was listed basically. Damn. But nothing was done besides like I guess going to the party, as of right now.
I thought it was like something like so serious, like I don't even know what it would be. I don't know what the allegations are. Something that she was tied into something, and I was like, oh my god, that'd be so crazy. But
that would be, yeah, because even like JLo's getting in the mix of it, so that'll be
JLo, poor thing. We love her though. Maybe she's getting a hate train unnecessarily.
She definitely is getting a hate train, but that's one where it's like, oh my god, you're just like so mean. So it's like hard to sympathize. You know? Right. Like at least like Meghan Markle's reading to sick kids. I'm like, okay.
Right. That's true. She's trying. She probably is doing more. That's so funny though. The Polo Cup thing's funny because it happened once before where everyone hated on her for being in the middle, like literally like sneaking up there, and then she did it again, and I was like, that's what I'm saying. Like sometimes I think like either they're trolling or they just don't have like PR because she has PR people obviously. So I was like, who's telling her like to?
I just think she can't control herself.
She loves to be up there with the boys because she was like kissing one of the Polo people, like, and then you could see Harry being like, "Oh, what's happening here?" Like, I don't know. Anyways, I felt bad for the woman that wanted a picture with Harry. That's what I felt bad because I was like, I know I would want that. Who? Oh, it was at Coachella too. Was it Emma Roberts took a picture with
someone from Vanderpump Rules? James Kennedy?
Was it? What? Yeah. Everyone's like, oh, she's fangirling over. Who's James Kennedy?
He's from Vanderpump Rules. But he was like a DJ. He's kind of like an F-boy. I don't keep up with like Bravo like that, but that's what I remember of James.
And she apologized to his girlfriend, like, I'm so sorry. And the girlfriend, she was like, that to me is like a real one. She's like, oh my God, don't ever apologize to me. She's also like someone kind of famous because I went to her page then to see who it was, and it was somebody kind of famous. And she was like, oh my God, don't apologize to me. Like she was totally fine with like just Emma and James taking a picture together. So that's why I was like, yeah, if your boyfriend's famous, like Prince Harry, like people are gonna want to take photos with him. You know what I mean? Like, let them just do it. They don't want to stand next to you. You know what? I don't know how to describe it. Oh, like when we take pictures with people, like when we're together, when we take pictures with people that watch us, like I always am in the middle. You know what I mean? Like even if it's like, does that make sense or no? I guess maybe I shouldn't be in the middle.
If people take pictures,
I'm
they
in the
take
middle.
a picture with you, and sometimes they're like, "You come in too," or whatever. So it's like, you know.
But you always put me in the middle because they probably
you're next to the person that wants the picture.
Right. Okay, wait, but
so
what am I
that
thinking
person
of?
is, that's where you are.
There was one time, gosh, who was it? I guess in general, you put like a girl in the thing, but I guess if you want a picture with the guy, let's say the guy was famous, like you're Ryan Gosling, like no one wants a picture with me in the middle, right? Is that what I'm trying to say? Is like, I feel like that's happened to me where I've definitely met like male celebrities and like they're with their girlfriend or wife and then they're in the middle, which is like fine. You don't want to be rude and be like, don't be in the picture, but you think you would like switch so the celebrity's in the middle. Because then with Emma Roberts.
Yeah, but then it doesn't feel right to the girl that he's with, because suddenly, I don't know. I mean, it's an odd one.
Because with Emma Roberts, she just wanted a picture with just James. So they take a picture together. And then the girlfriend was like so sweet. She's like, because Emma was like apologizing, like, I'm so sorry. And she goes, it's fine.
Let's say if we're together, somebody wants a picture with me, I'm not going to move you over to take a picture with them. So they can either take the picture,
Would I put myself in the middle? I'm like, wait.
However we are, we're together. I'm going to hold you. We're going to take a picture with somebody. Like, it's not.
But where are
like, I'm not
they
going to be
in
like,
the
okay,
thing?
move over. I'm going to.
But they could be on the other side of you.
They can if that's how they approached us. But all I'm saying is like, I'm not going to move you to take a picture with somebody.
Right. So go on the side. Well, that's what the girl did with Harry. She was on his side, and then Meg's like, "Come here by me."
Well, that's. I mean, just let her take the picture and go.
Yeah. But then with Emma and James Kennedy, then the girlfriend, I don't know her name. She is someone. She had a lot of followers, but then she was like. Emma kind of like signed her to come in, and then she stood next to Emma, which I guess makes sense because you have pictures with your boyfriend. You want a picture with Emma. That makes sense. I don't know. Anyway, let us know your thoughts if you even followed any of that because it's complicated. But but I guess she knows that her boyfriend's famous, so she's like, obviously you can take a picture with him. I don't have to be in the picture.
And it's Emma Roberts who has a baby and is married or partnered or something. So I'm just like, what?
Right. And this girl's like a young, hot, like Instagram influencer. She's probably like, whatever. I don't know. I just think it's... But also the lady taking a picture with Harry wasn't like this young, like, thought trying to... You know what I mean? Like, she kind of looked like someone part of the organization or something. So, I don't know. Anyways, it was just funny. It's just like a weird interaction. I don't know. I'm very awkward, too, when it comes to interactions. Like, I also never know where to stand. So, take that for what you will.
Just do what I do.
What? Don't take pictures? I tell everyone that story because I think when Tana was here, she was talking about how like Makoa, like people ask him to take pictures, and she's like, "Yeah, he will." And it's like, I'm like, you should take pictures with people. Like you're online, you're on the podcast, like.
Yeah, but that's just my choice.
Okay, your body, your choice. Whatever you want to do.
I've met every celebrity you can imagine in Hollywood. I don't have one picture with anyone.
Well, you're weird. That's why. Because like, who wouldn't want to? Like all the people you know, I'm like, take a picture. People like do that.
What am I going to do with that picture?
Huh?
What am I going to do with that picture?
Show it. Proof.
Exactly.
Proof, receipts, timeline.
There was someone, I think it was Ross Lynch.
Oh.
I think. But he was saying that like now when people come up to him for like a photo, he'll ask them like why? Like why do you want a photo? Which I think is like, I'm like, just take the photo, right? Like, isn't that more work than like having a whole discourse? Like, why do you want the photo? Like, what are you going to do with it? Like, just take it. That's faster, no?
Totally. But I get what he's saying because, like, where's it going to end up? I get what it is. Like, it could end up somewhere weird, but it is awkward. That's so awkward. Like, to say that. Like, me, I have to say yes, no matter, like, even if I'm like, whatever. Even if I'm with my daughter, I always say if I'm with my daughter, especially if I'm alone with her, I'm like, oh, don't ask for a picture because, like, I don't want to, like, turn from her. But it's like, I still say yes because it's so freaking awkward to be like, no, why? What do you want? Like... Especially like Rosalind's like, no shade, but it's like, you know, you should, like, me too. You should be appreciative of anyone who wants to come up to you. You know what I mean? We were talking about that this morning too. I think in Glam, he was saying that Courtney Love like refused a picture with him. And I was like, but you would think like, she's huge, she's popular, but you think she'd just be appreciative. It's not like Britney Spears where everyone wants a picture with her. Yeah. But Ross Lynch, I guess he was in the Choice of On video, so he's
on the up and up.
Yeah, I mean, you know, whatever. That's, you know, I guess you're right. Whatever people's boundaries are, you know, respect those. But it is awkward, I think, for sure.
That kind of reminds me, back to Coachella. We keep like
I know,
pivoting.
I was trying to go back to with Renee Rapp,
with Jake Shane, our good friend Jake Shane.
We love Jake Shane.
I actually do love him. I
love him too.
Yeah,
just because he's friends with David. Everyone's friends with David at this point. Like literally, everyone's friends.
We would have to hate everyone.
We'd have to hate everyone, and at this point, we can't do that. So fine. As long as they're separated 1 degree.
He was like, I guess he's a big Swiftie. I think maybe that's why I'm like, I actually really like him now, especially because we have all the same faves. So I'm like, yeah.
I feel like you always liked him.
He's very me coded, I think, or I'm him coded, or he's me
Wait,
coded.
really? Wow.
Because I don't know. Every time I see him, I'm like, this makes sense. Like,
you always liked him. I think our first episode you mentioned him.
Yeah, T.
And I was like,
Ooh,
okay, yeah. Wait, what did you mention him for in the first episode?
He was nominated for Streamy, I think, and I was quizzing you on if you knew the people who were nominated.
Right. You said like Octopus Lover or something, and I was like, which is great now. I know both of his names. I know Octopus Lover and Jake Shade. Yes, he's everywhere.
He was at Coachella, and he was like right behind Taylor Swift. And like he loves her, obviously, and like he really wanted to go up to get a photo with her, and then he just like froze. And there's literally photos of him. Well, it's video of Taylor and Travis, but he's like in the background, and you can literally see his face like so gagged and like trying to process, and his friends trying to like push him because they're literally like a person away. Like Taylor's here, he's right here. And his friends trying to like push him to go, and he couldn't. He was just too gagged.
He should have
and
been smiling, knowing that people are gonna take photos of her.
I think he was too gagged. He couldn't process.
Partying with her. I'd be like, hey, like so it looks like you're like really with her.
I think that would have been me though too. I think I would have been too shocked. Gagged. To like not expect her. It's different when you're expecting it. Like every time I met her, I was like prepared. Like I had like days to mentally prepare and like plan what I'm gonna say, and like have my little lines or whatever.
Right.
But to be gagged and surprised with her, it's like, oh my God. Like,
so she's sitting in front of you, you would just be shook? I feel like you would.
Especially in a big crowd like that, and like there's loud noise and stuff. It's not like you can really like go up and like say hi, like introduce yourself, Right. But she was taking photos with people, like Teresa Giudice, you know her from
random. Yeah, that was weird. Did you see how close the bodyguard was to them?
Yeah.
Like literally just like staring at them, like making out or whatever.
Say, maybe that's why he was so terrified to walk up to her.
That security guard was wild. Like, could you imagine him as security guard, like literally just like standing right there looking at you like that?
That's gotta be so stressful though, because like to be that security guard and like, oh my God, there's so many people, Because I think after the Super Bowl when they were in Vegas, like they went to a nightclub too, and it was like the same situation, like just packed, and you could see like the bodyguard having to see like scan the room to look at every single person. I'd be the worst bodyguard. I'm too ADD that I'd be like.
You would be like good because you would like survey, but then at the same time, it's like too much happening.
Whenever I get distracted, something would happen, and then it'd be a whole.
Yeah, security guards. I think in general too, they have like it just tough, like canceled, like all these shows. They just don't know how to. They don't. I think they kind of don't know. They're kind of too shook when something does happen because they have to be on alert of everything. So when something goes down, they're like. They're looking at so many other things they can't possibly grab, like, because you always see, like, fans being on the stage. Chappelle, David Chappelle? Like, someone got on stage, basically, it was a knife or something. And I'm like, how did they get on Hollywood Bowl all past that security? Like,
I forgot about that, yeah.
Yeah, he had, like, personal security.
I think venue security is very different from, like, personal. Because, like, venue security, they literally post, like when Taylor's doing the Eras Tour, I almost did it because they posted like an ad, like because they need people to like, go out and do it, so people like random people can go like work it. You know
what I
mean?
We're gonna apply.
I kind of wanted to because I saw a lot of people on Twitter doing that because you couldn't afford, and then all of a sudden you're like front row. So.
Oh my God! Yeah, but then if someone goes on stage, what do you do? Tack love? Yeah, that's crazy actually. That's funny.
You'll protect Taylor with your life.
That's true.
Would you?
Yeah, I would because her life is more important than mine. Like she affects more people than me. And then plus, like, I would go down in history. You know what I mean? And then she would donate to, like, at, like, my family and stuff, too. Like, she would take care of them for the rest of their lives.
Okay.
So, yeah.
You would jump in front of a bullet for her?
Yeah, I would.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, shout out. Taylor, hire Oscar. That's what I'm saying. Like, I always think you'll leave me for someone else, and I'm like, it'd probably be like Taylor Swift. I think the canceled girls or some influencers will be like, oh, we need Oscar for sure. But I also think like Taylor Swift, I was like, okay, you can go. That one I'd be like, yeah, go do that one.
I don't know if I could handle it though. I don't know. Because then like I already love Taylor like personally, but then even like working in entertainment when I have to cover Taylor a lot, like I'm like, oh my God, why? They'll make me work specifically for Taylor events, like even against my will sometimes.
Wait, why
like,
don't you want to do it?
Like the Super Bowl. I didn't want to work the Super Bowl, but I had to because of Taylor.
But you don't want to?
No. Like I would like to see the the little videos in my own free time, but it's like have to
really
yeah.
Oh, it's like my dream. Donny Osmond's like PR person is like my dream. She like does like his social media for him, and I was like, she gets like follow him everywhere he goes.
When you mix something you love with work, it will automatically just drain away. Yeah,
I love what I do.
I think it's a little different.
No, I mean like if you had to work tomorrow with Sacha Baron Cohen and he would be not nice to you and be like, oh.
I'd have so many good stories, though. I would love the experiences for my tell-all book. You know what I mean? It's just like, oh, this is what happened. No one hires me ever again.
Well, you can make one up for, when you were in the Titanic. He was next to
yeah. Me and Sacha Baron Cohen. Wait, before I forget, this has been in my side. You don't have to eat this now, but I got you AMC ready to eat popcorn.
My boyfriend's gonna die. My boyfriend loves popcorn, especially the AMC popcorn.
It tastes just like it. Okay, I didn't see it says up in the corner to warm up fresh. I was just eating it out of the bag. But I mean, it tastes good. It literally tastes like the popcorn if you were to leave it in the bucket for like a day.
Where the heck did you get this?
They just came out. Shout out Moses for finding it at Ralph's. It just came out. My mom texted me on Saturday morning, and I texted Moses to like go to the grocery store and get this. And it's so good. I have like a bag upstairs. Like I literally bought. Would you buy 4 bags? I was like, I need all these.
Yeah, there were only 5. Like there was just 5 bags.
Anyways, if we need
I
a
had
snack,
no idea this existed.
I mean, you can also like just eat it, but it does say heat and eat. It says to put it in a bowl and heat because it does taste just like it.
Wow.
But I didn't heat it up. And literally I said it before I even saw that. I was like, oh, it's just not warm like the popcorn. And then I was like, oh, if you heat it up, it'd probably be good. But it's already popped, ready to go. You get it in the chip aisle, not the popcorn aisle, because Moses was in the popcorn aisle. He's like, I don't see it.
If we have a snack, that should be the Just Trish snack.
Popcorn?
Your pink popcorn, bring it back.
The glitter popcorn?
Yeah.
That's actually everything, because people always ask. And I'm like, God, everyone has popcorn now. Like Kelly Clarkson,
really?
the D'Amelios. Like, everyone has popcorn, but... Or chips or whatever, but I would love a popcorn. Pink glitter popcorn would be a slay.
Yeah, I feel like if you brought that back now, people would live for it. Yeah, the
Alright.
timing is everything. Now I feel like people would
Very
really be
true.
on board.
We just have pink popcorn as we're snacking. We'll put that here for a little advertisement for a minute. It's not advertised, but there it is. AMC popcorn. I thought of you with it. You've never been to Coachella, right?
No, I've never been. It's not really my thing. Seeing it this year, this year actually too, it was like the slowest ticket sales of any Coachella. It kind of fell off a little bit, but there were a lot of good like stage like performance moments that I think made it like super relevant.
What was your fave?
Weekend.
I don't know. I didn't see anything really.
There was a lot of like collabs, like Renee and Kesha, No Doubt brought Olivia Rodrigo, Lana Del Rey brought Billie Eilish. My fave, I guess, was Chapel Roan is my like hyper fixation right now.
I didn't see her.
And
Was she by herself?
She performed by herself, yeah. The same time as Sabrina Carpenter. So a lot of people were touring like
Oh
Sabrina.
no!
Chapel.
Why do they do that? Why do they have people?
Even Sabrina was pissed because she said she wanted to see Chapel, and
We love Chapel. We got to get her on. Did you ever see the clip of her talking about me?
Yes, the nylon TikTok.
After you told me about her, I started like, now she comes up everywhere because I wore the Bridgerton wig last week. So everyone's like, Chapel Roan. And I was like,
literally was.
Yeah. And I was like, wait, what? So now I like did a deep dive and I'm like, now I kind of love her and I want her on the podcast.
I know, I love her too.
Should we reach out?
Live for her. Yeah, someone said that they are friends with someone who knows her and they were gonna reach out for us. So
shout out Chapel Roan.
Yeah.
I need to see her performance. I didn't see her Coachella
it was
one.
really good.
What song did she sing? Sing a song.
HOTTOGO. You can take me hot to go.
Oh, I was like, what does that spell? Oh, I like that. HOTTO.
And she has a little dance that
How's
she
it go?
does. Goes
like cheering.
HOTTOGO. Oh no, and she has another song I really like called Feminine Nomenon.
Ooh, I like
It's
that.
It's a feminine nomenon.
What's it about?
She said a man couldn't. The way she describes it, it's about a man not making her come, so she went to the ladies instead.
Wait, is she lesbian?
She's lesbian, yeah.
We were just
That's why
saying.
lesbians were the theme of Coachella.
They run the world.
They really did.
I live.
And then with Renee Rapp too, she had the cast of the L Word introduce her, which was like so iconic. Yeah,
I love Renee Rapp too now.
Saying I live for like the lesbians is like that's got to be our new like ML. Like we need
Lesbian audience
friends.
only.
Yes.
Sorry, girls and gays. Well, girls fine, but just the gay ones. Lesbians do kind of everything.
Yeah, they're
It's like-
having their moment, which is great.
Yes,
Yeah.
because for so long I feel like they were like the most oppressed, right? Like even the gay guys are like, oh, lesbians, they're just a lot, you know what I mean? And now it's like,
And there's like so much. Well, now like there's much more like gay men media. I guess you know like a lot of gay like shows. Even like I guess the Last of Us season 2 will be more lesbian coded, but the first one was kind of more gay coded, right? With,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You know, so I feel like now there's more like lesbian media, more lesbian artists. So
yeah.
it's pretty awesome.
We need more representation because I think you think of like lesbians like for so long, you have the stereotypical lesbian, like and the producers, they have one lesbian and she's like so like keep it gay, keep it gay, keep it gay. And I was like, why did they make her so like butch? You know what I mean? Like it's like that's all. But that's what you think of. People think lesbian haircut, lesbian. It's like lesbians come in all shapes and sizes and they're beautiful, all of them.
Very Glee too. Glee was actually kind of on the forefront with like Brittany and Santana. Weren't they lesbians?
Or were they bi? Because they were also dating like Puck and.
You're right. I think Brittany was lesbian and maybe Santana
Full
was
on?
bi. I think. I don't
Santana
really
definitely
remember.
dated like boys too, but maybe you're
I
right.
think Brittany only dated Santana.
Okay.
I don't know. I kind of have a vague Gleek
Glee
recollection.
is traumatizing. Every time I see that, I was like Mr. Shoe and every like, why was he performing with those students? Like that was so weird. Like don't
And like songs that were all about like sex and stuff.
yeah.
Too. It's like what?
No, one yes I can guarantee. You know what? That's the ultimate. Okay, why does he get a hate train? Talking about why gay people get. Why does Matthew Morrison get such a hate train? He's a white straight male.
Why does he get a hate train?
Yeah.
Because his character sucked.
I feel like he got maybe an unfair hate train. I'm on that hate train. Don't get me wrong. I don't like Matthew Morrison, but like, why did we start hating him? Because his character sucked. I mean, it's like a lot of people's characters
I
suck.
think so. And like there was nothing else to like really separate him from the character. You know what I mean? Like Leah Michelle too. Like there's such a thin line between Leah and Rachel Berry. So I feel like that's another one where it's like, oh,
Leah said some racist shit, right? That was her thing.
And like she was a terrible character too. So it's like
the combination.
double homicide.
But I feel like Matthew Morrison didn't do anything horrible in his personal life.
I guess, but I don't know anything about him other than like what I've seen in
But
Glee.
he was getting hate right after Glee. He did like the Grinch, and everyone's like, "Oh my god, Matthew Morrison!" Like trigger warning. I was just like, Jesus! Like everyone just hates him in everything he does. Like it was not even Glee.
Maybe it's like a strawberry blonde thing too. He kind of gives like Ethan Slater vibes a little bit, right? They have the same hair color.
I could see it. I guess.
Yeah.
Don't slander Ethan Slater like that though, because I love Ethan Slater. Matthew Morrison, absolutely not. He's one person I'll guarantee will never be on this podcast. I'll have Sacha Baron Cohen on before him. I'll have Emily Blunt on before him. Matthew Morrison is where I draw the line for sure. Which is weird because I love theater boys too. I love people who sing, and I just not him. Not him at all. Does not pass the vibe check. But which house would you have been at Coachella? Would you have been at the guest house or the Trippin' with Tart house? Did you see any of them? Did you see any of behind the scenes of these? I was invested in both. That's why I went to see everybody that was at all of them.
That's a good question. Wasn't Tana was at the Tart one, right? So I think Tart.
Because Tana's there.
Oh, yeah.
I agree. I always think it's so funny when I see her at these like influencer houses, because to me she's like she's like the influencer, right? Like to me she's like the biggest, like one of the big. Well, I guess David is too. I guess but it's always fun to me because I'm always like she'll go with Trippin' with Tart. You know what I mean? Because to me I always thought they were like newer influencers, right? Up and coming.
But they have like Jeffree Star and stuff on their trips. So.
But like 5 years ago.
Yeah, but that Jeffree was still, I think, probably the.
But that was random, and I think it was random for Jeffree too, because everyone's like, you can just afford to go on these trips yourself. So that was like weird.
I think he just wanted to be in the mix and have some,
be a part of it,
because that was the cool thing to do.
Yeah, I think he did for sure. I saw him on TikTok live, like he was cooking in his kitchen or something this weekend. Some part of me sometimes is like, God, I would love to like talk to him, like have him on the podcast, but I'm just also like, is that a bad idea? Like, you know, I don't know. I feel like, was our falling out bad? I don't know. Sometimes I don't remember either. Like, this is what I'm saying. I'm like, wait, sometimes I forget.
I didn't
forget. I remember. But, you know, sometimes you forget the severity of something.
Totally, yeah. Yeah. I don't know either.
Like, is it like inviting, like, to me, it wasn't even toxic. So I'm like, is this, but I'm like, God, I would like to know, like, what his life is like now in, like, Wyoming, or are we just past that point? I mean, honestly, me and Shane are past that point, but I feel like me and Jeffree, I don't know. But maybe by association, the loyalty.
Totally, because there's definitely some I could never, ever see happening again.
Which ones?
Like Shane, David, Natalie, anyone. Like, there's some vlog squad, like a Todd even. Like, there's some vlog squatters I
think Todd would come on.
You think?
Yeah, because he was, like, nice to me recently. Remember? Was it Olivia? Who was it? Someone said, oh, they saw Todd. Maybe it was just oh, yeah, the TikToker.
Oh, yeah,
and they're like, love
People's
Trish.
Choice Awards or something. Yeah. I think Zayn said that.
Oh, well, let's have him on. Come on, unfiltered.
Pretty
we have 7 people here. Like literally 8, like just talking.
Just pretty unfiltered.
Oh my God. It would literally be 7. If it was Moses, you, me, Remy, Alicia, Zayn, that's 7 people. That'd be the most, but people do that. That's every podcast now. It's like, let's have 10 people talking at once. That would be really easy. If you think about it, like you only talk for like 10 minutes of like a 2-hour podcast because everyone's talking.
And you wouldn't have to prep that much either, because like you can just rely on everyone else to keep things
I guess
moving.
that's why people do it.
I know.
There's like
easy.
no prep. It's just like
show up.
But get prep because it's good and it can help prevent HIV.
Yeah.
We love that. I love anyways. We just love that, like, where was it? I think it was Trixie or somebody was talking about it, and it's just like normalizing like STDs and not making it seem like so scary and like that's like that. Like, I love it because I think the more information people have about it, the better. And like I feel like PrEP is something people don't talk about, and I feel like it's like something I knew about for so long from people, and like people take it, and it's like lowering the cases of like AIDS and stuff like that, and like HIV. It's like so good, you know, because HIV is not AIDS. It's not the same thing. It's like, so if you have it, you can like prevent from spreading it. And so I think it's just good to know. Anyways, check out PrEP. I think you can get it for free somewhere, right?
I think so too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think they advertise it a lot these days too. I get a lot of Instagram ads about it.
Really?
Randomly. Yeah.
Oh, I never see it. Like,
you know
Drag Race. Yeah.
I was gonna say drag queens now. Like I think this one brand has drag queens like promoting it. Like I think maybe Gia, I want to say.
Really?
Or Manila Luzon. Some of the queens have been promoting on their Instagram. Like they'll do Instagram ads for it.
I thought they should have that on like Drag Race because they talk about like just HIV awareness a lot. And I was like, why don't they have ads for like that kind of stuff? You know what I mean? Because it is so like, it's insightful, and it's so like, it is very just it's just like more conversational. It's not like as shocking. Like I love Plain Jane's response where it's like, yes, Bill, you know, like, and I was like, I love it because it's kind of whatever. Yeah. Anyways, I think it's great. I didn't know about prep until a couple years ago, and I was just like, that's amazing. That's great. Everyone should be on it. What were we talking about though before that?
Coachella.
Just going back to that.
Speaking of prep, James Charles is also at Coachella.
not the transition. Nothing to do with each other. We don't know if James is on prep. Don't know. It's fine.
Well, it did bring me back though. Well, first of all, okay, he was promoting his second single at Coachella, which I thought was bold. It's definitely bold to film like a TikTok singing your song in the middle of a field, like someone's trying to get a churro, and here's James Charles singing the song.
See, this is why I'm so biased against James. You know, like everything I do. Again, I'm like that hater. Like I'll just hate on everything because it's just like whatever. But if I wasn't just a natural born hater about him, I would think that's a slay. I was kind of like that's kind of everything because I saw like behind the scenes of him. It's just like one camera person and him just like crushing it, like you know. And I was like, that's kind of everything. But of course, me being like, oh, James. But unbiased, like if I didn't know about his past or anything like that, I'd be like, oh, that's kind of cute.
I don't know if I would. I think it's kind of
love. I like the song too.
Just because it's in Coachella and there's like actual like artists on the stage, and then you're all the way in the back filming, and then, literally there's like the background is people like trying to eat a churro.
That's why it's
like,
a slay though. I should be up there too. I'm here with everybody. Like I love that. I think that's everything.
T. Okay, kudos, mom.
Kudos, Bill.
But it did bring me back though to like the 2019 Coachella because I remember that so vividly, and I was like, because this one was pretty tame, you know, like yes, there was like big artist moments, but 2019 Coachella, that is when everything happened.
Wait, what happened?
That
was
was the sugar bear hair gummy incident with Tati. That was the inciting incident, and then that's when James also was trying to like hook up with that guy Gage Gomez, a straight guy who was like James said was like leading him on and stuff, and then that whole controversy was like wild. That was the time.
I kind of don't remember that. What happened? He just was
I
like.
I think you don't remember that because I think wasn't 2019 when you
2019
tried
was
to go.
Yeah. It's when I tried to go, and I ended up in the Vlog Squad house, and I was dumped somewhere afterwards, and it was a very low point. But Skinny and Snatch, I never gave you the photos. I'm going to put them in the shared album, my Skinny Snatch Coachella. And literally it's just me at this house. I don't even know whose house it was. It's me and like 20 gays around me, and it's just me, which I live. But also I'm like, what was I doing? Also so skinny. Like it was just like so weird. I never made it to the actual festival. I was just like, yeah, that's right. It was 2019. Okay, I was there. Shout out 2019.
You were a part of it somehow.
I was very outside of it. I remember just being dropped off at a Motel 6 at like 5 a.m. and it was just like really sketchy, and it was a whole thing, but...
Oh my god,
we live for that.
Yeah, I wish you could have like really experienced what it was like though, like as a consumer of like YouTube videos. It was crazy. Like if we had this podcast in 2019 when all that would happen, we would have to do like emergency like videos.
Episodes.
Yeah,
I think about that. Like when we first started, it seemed to be a lot of drama happening, and I was like, oh my god, we got to do this. I'm totally down. If something ever like breaks crazy. Would we? I don't know. At the same time, I'm like, I guess I can wait till Monday. Like, what can't wait? You know what I mean?
But that was such a saga because it just like constantly had developments. Like it began with the sugar bear hair. Like James had to promote the sugar bear hair gummies because he wanted the VIP like wristbands and he wanted the golf cart. And then Tati like subtweeted or something because that's when she had her Halo Beauty hair vitamins. That's how it all started.
That.
You remember
it? Moses knows.
Wow. What?
Yeah.
You don't remember anything in YouTube. You're like, oh, I didn't know David Dobrik, but you remember sugar bear hair?
No, if you know about the time, yeah.
If you know, you know.
But 2019 was David's year too, so you know sugar bear hair, but you don't know about David Dobrik.
The inside, it's like history. It's like very historical because it's like it's like the first brick at Stonewall. You know, it's like what's the
I don't remember this
thing?
at all. Wait, so how old was James in 2019?
Good question. Maybe 19 or 20, maybe?
Oh, I don't even know how. I have no idea. I think of him as forever like 20, but I don't know.
He's 20. He was born in 99, so he was 20.
He was 20 at the time?
Yeah.
And how old was Tati at the time?
I have no idea.
Like older?
Yeah.
Like in her 30s?
Yeah.
Like kind of hindsight, like why was she so pressed about him promoting sugar bear hair? Like, girl, are you giving him Coachella VIP? Are you giving him a stake ownership in the company? Like, this is a 20-year-old getting free for Coachella. Like, I'll promote another podcast. I don't care. Like,
you do promote Pretty Unfiltered every day.
Yeah, like I'll do anything. I'll promote someone else who loves water. Like, I don't care. I'll throw anybody on the bus. Like, whatever. Just give me those VIP. And he's 20, and she was so pressed about it.
I think.
And I'm sorry if you're like, we were friends. Also, red flag. If you're 30 something and you're like, my really good friend, 20-year-old James.
I think they had like a mentorship kind of thing. Like she helped him, like, you know, get established. So it was kind of like that kind of.
You don't own him just because you help someone get established.
As long as they confirm to only what she wants and says.
Yeah, that seems a little bit like in the power dynamic. That's not
yeah.
fair. That's what I'm saying. It's like you don't own that person just because you help them. Like that's wild to me. Actually, like thinking about this now, I might be Team James in this situation. Especially since such shit about the birthday party, by him saying like, "Oh, why would you say this at my birthday party?" and stuff like that. It's like, okay, so you knew this stuff beforehand, and you're still like, "This is my friend. This is this is the person I'm mentoring, and how dare?" It's like, what? You're weird, lady. You're still being friends with this person, and you're like, I don't know. This is what 20-year-olds talk about. They talk about fellatio at your birthday party. You know, like. I'm like now thinking about it in my clear mind, I'm like, maybe she was the weirdo making such a big deal about this to like a 20-year-old. Because even in our situation stuff, and we're gonna talk about upcoming, like, you know, about the Brittany and Tana. It's like even me being 35 and then being 25, I'm like, I just see it so differently. So it's like how and like in a good way, but it's like how can she not? Why did Jamaica? Anyways. Team James on this one before. I mean, the other stuff wild. I don't know, but
I guess you're
crazy.
right. I don't know. I'm trying to like go back in time to think about like contextually why was it like, oh yeah, screw James. But I don't know now. Oh my god.
Yeah, were you on Tati's side?
I was on whoever had the latest video. I was a flip flopper. You know what I mean? I was like, whoever is like had like the most convincing argument. Like, you know, Tati would post and I was like, yeah, screw that guy. And then James would post and I'm like, you know what? You're right, James. And then I would go back. You know?
Really? We should do like a Patreon reacting to the lore.
I think so too. We need to do a deep dive.
I need to get receipts. I want to see the timelines. I need to see everything happening because I'm really starting to like think maybe people like James got a bad rap on this one.
But, I do remember this like because at the same time too, because this is all at Coachella. So like the Gage Gomez like James Charles situation was like the same time. There was like a video of someone getting blown in the Ferris wheel. Like you could see the silhouette.
Ew.
And then there was like a video of it and everyone thought it was James and Gage, the straight guy. For some reason, it was like people just ran with it. And I think everyone believed
That's what's so toxic, right? Like the hate train, toxic gossip train right here. Okay, it's like once you're on that hate train, it's like, oh, let's just like this random people. It could be a hetero couple for all we know. Like, first of all, if you're doing that stuff in public, I think you're nasty. I don't care what anyone says. When people are like, what's the wildest place you had sex? I'm like, if you're saying you did it in like a Ferris wheel where there's like children, you're nasty. Yeah. Like, that's disgusting. Coachella, I get it. There's no children or whatever, but still, it's like nasty. Other people are there. But I think that is the worst part about it is because then people just start hating on everything. It's like, oh, that was James. That was this guy. You know, whatever. It's like... And ultimately, if it was him and that guy, I mean, the guy may not be completely straight. You know what I mean?
Well,
it's
that
like,
was the tea. He did say he was straight, and then he like said that James was like really pressuring him to like hook up and stuff, and that like he would like kick him out of the house they were staying at or something. There was all this stuff going on. I forget the exact like allegations, but I just remember vividly because then E.T. This was when I was boots on the ground influencer journalism.
Really?
Like, drama. Yeah. We tried to interview Gage Gomez, but then he wanted money for us to interview him. We're like, we don't pay people to do interviews because it's
that's
against
sus.
news, you know.
I think that's very sus when people ask for money, especially like you're trying to raise awareness for your story. And why do you need money?
So it was all just like a crazy time. And then that's how everything kind of like spiraled after that. It was just like one thing after another. And then I think it was like the bi sister and then it all...
Right, and definitely the stuff, because we already know the reason I don't like him is he already admitted to, like, you know, not checking people's ages, and there obviously was minors he was talking to. I think that's, like, the main thing, because sometimes, like, here's the thing, like, sometimes you don't know, right? Unless someone's like, hey, I'm straight, by the way. You know, like, that's not always, like, if he wasn't checking their ages, he might not be checking their sexuality, you know what I mean? So sometimes you don't know. I always think that just in general in the world, like, how... guys hit on girls. How do they know if they're not lesbians? Or, you know, a guy hitting on a guy. Like, how do you know? You just don't know, you know, until you know. And you can kind of feel it. Maybe you don't or whatever. So I get that, especially when you're young. It could be, like, kind of hard to, like, tell unless someone straight up is like, I'm straight. I'm not interested in guys. But, you know, I have seen parts, too, where we're, like, we talked about this. Like, even, like, David and not to say that they're flirting. Not saying that. But I'm just saying, like, sometimes you don't know. Like, sometimes I would be, or your straight friend, for instance, you know, the one that was. I mean, the lines seem blurry, you know what I mean? Where it's like, even some people don't know, right? Some people don't know until later on in life, too. They're like, oh, maybe I am. I don't know. Or they find someone they like. I know that's like, I think with a lot of like girls I know that are like consider themselves like pansexual, they meet someone that maybe they don't consider they would have been lesbian for, but they meet someone and they connect. It's like, oh, maybe this is a good route for me. But when it considers themselves, anyways. I think the sexuality part is a little bit minor, unless they said like I'm straight, stop hitting on me or something. But
and unless they're minors.
T. And that's the reason why I am like, James, no. You know, like, you need to ask the age. The age is like the first thing. Before sexuality, let's ask the age. You know what I mean? And then we'll figure out the rest. You know?
It's funny, too, because his second single is all about, like, getting led on again. And I'm like, oh, it did really give me 2019 vibes, you know, like the heartbreak of being led on by a straight guy.
And he did at Coachella.
Yeah.
Was he in front of the Ferris wheel?
No, but that would have been everything. That's what you should have done.
Right?
That would have been symbolism.
What was the lines? I heard the song. It was kind of good.
I forget what the line. I just know the gist was like being led. Like, you told me you loved me and you didn't.
Said I was pretty.
Did he say that?
Yeah, he's like, you said I was beautiful, and I was like, or pretty, I think was the line, and I was just like, that's what I'm saying. Like, if a guy tells you you're pretty, you would assume he's kind of into you romantically, right?
I guess so. Yeah.
If that's real, I don't know. It could be just a lyric too. Who knows? I don't know, but I'm not trying to defend James. Yeah,
maybe just
trust
a
me.
way for a guy to be like they're not interested in him, or they got turned off by him. They're like, sorry, I'm straight.
That's
like,
true. I've had guys tell me like, I've had guys tell me they were like gay, and I was like, I said, just because you don't want to be with me, and it's like after we like hooked up, I was like, oh, okay, and maybe they were gay. Who knows? Maybe they were just being honest, and I couldn't handle it. That could be reverse. Be like, actually, I'm straight.
I was thinking though, like, this is the second single from James, and it's like another slow, like, Demi Lovato song. I almost want him and JoJo to do a song swap. Like, whatever the third single is, swap with a JoJo song. And then James gets a bop, and then JoJo gets an emotional song. And then I think we would, like, even things out a little bit. I feel like it would do wonders for both of them.
They should also swap styles, I feel. You know what I mean?
They almost have similar styles.
A little bit, but I feel like he could do good in the glitter. It's given an Adam Lambert moment. And I feel like she would do good in like chaps. You know what I mean? I feel like she could look. Was she at Coachella? I didn't see her.
No, she went to Miami. She was performing in Miami or somewhere in Florida.
I think I saw that. She was performing Karma, but she looked like her old JoJo self.
Old JoJo. Yeah, she still had the eye thing, but she had white and like.
Yeah, she was like sparkly rainbow JoJo.
Yeah.
JoJo, if you want a Birkin.
That's the first thing I thought, because she was back in the white and rainbow.
I was like, okay.
Yeah.
She's going back to her
We'll
good
forgive
girl.
you if we buy the Birkin.
And David, you're forgiving him what if you got to go to his party? Or what were you saying? You said you would go.
If he asked me on a date.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Hypocritical.
My boyfriend's like.
I know. Does he listen to this podcast? He's probably like, what?
I think he's just used to my little antics at this point.
Same. I think that too. I always think that. I feel like I've chilled. I haven't been like obsessed with like a celebrity like The Weeknd in a while. So I feel like I haven't had like a, oh my God, that guy's so hot phase.
Except for Sacha Baron Cohen today.
I have a weird one with that. Yeah, that is weird lately. I don't even talk about it to Moses because I'm like, I don't know. It's kind of weird.
And what's his name?
Ooh.
Trader's guy.
Oh, Alan Cumming.
I
do love him. I know, almost the point where I'm like, maybe I shouldn't be on the Traders. I feel like, because oh man, he's so gorgeous. I just love him. He's my favorite. I actually was like watching him the other day in like Cabaret, and I was like playing it on my phone. I was like, I just really love him. Oh, I want him on so bad. I wonder if he's with CAA. Let's see. Just always ask everybody, be like, can he come on? I love him. I don't know who I love more at this point. Alan Cumming or Todd? Probably Alan Cumming. Because Sacha Baron Cohen is awful. But we love him.
Yeah, at least Alan Cumming's unproblematic as far as we know. Right?
Yeah, I think so. Right? I think he's been unproblematic his like whole life.
Yeah.
We love to see.
So shout out Alan Cumming.
Shout out Trader Season 3. Yeah.
I would see JoJo at Coachella next year too. I could see you and JoJo.
Yeah, I love it. Headlining.
Yeah, that'd be kind of everything.
I'll be her special guest. She'll bring me out. I have a soft spot for JoJo too. I do. I think her problematic stuff is just her age and victim of being a young child.
Yeah, like call her daddy.
Are we over that? Are we over Coachella? Because I'm fine to call her daddy now. Because I have stuff to say about that.
That's pretty much all I have for Coachella. Oh, Sabrina, Carpenter, and Barry Keoghan were cute. He was like,
oh yeah,
yeah.
People said he was rolling. What's rolling? Is that when you're on Molly?
I think so. Yeah.
But they said that about everyone. Maybe that's just a term people are using now.
And I think everyone is usually on something at Coachella. So
he looked hyped. Like, did you see when she was like, woo?
Yeah.
And he's like filming her friend and like that.
And when she's singing about a boy, she's like, oh, he's like, that's me. He's geeked. He's geeked.
She like he waved and he's like, ah.
He can't believe he pulled her. I'm like, that's how it should be. You know, that's how it should be.
That's such a random couple. But did you ever hear the interview where someone asked her if she saw Saltburn?
No. What did she say?
I think he said he was friends with her too. It was weird. I just saw it on my TikTok and he's like, oh, have you seen the movie Saltburn? And she goes, yeah. She goes, I have to go to the bathroom. And then she just left and never came back. I don't know like how long ago that was or why, but I'm like, that's so interesting.
That's everything.
I love Barry Keoghan too. I think he's so cute. And I think she's gorge. I live for her.
Yeah, she is a baby Trish though, 100%.
Oh God, that's the best thing ever.
She
I
is
wish.
So you.
She could play me. I think of baby Trish being JoJo, but I would take Sabrina Carpenter for sure. I ordered the shirt. Hopefully it comes by our next Hot Topics. The Jesus was a Carpenter.
That's
I got it in pink.
Yeah, I'll live for that.
Yeah,
okay.
So I don't know if it's gonna come in time. I want it for my Hot Topics next week, but I want to do a Sabrina cosplay because I just think she's
so cute.
Her bangs, everything about her is so adorable.
I love her new
the blush.
Song.
She's makeup by Mario. I literally ordered it the other day. A makeup by Mario blush. I forgot what it was called, and she puts like way up. Yeah, her new song Espresso. I'm a Sabrina stan.
Me too. I love her.
Which is so weird. Like to me, it's like she kind of came out of nowhere, but I was just like,
and
I
she's
love her.
been around for so long. I interviewed her once.
On the set of Boy Meets World, Girl Meets World.
No, she had a song that she's promoting. I forget what it was. Alien, I want to say. It's like you're an alien. That's the only part I remember.
That literally sounds like nonsense. Like it's like, I guess you could call me.
It was a song she did with the DJ. I forget who. I don't know. This was a long time ago.
I know her hairdresser. Maybe we can get through her.
I was gonna say, even though she is so it girl right now, but.
Well, we need an it girl. We have it boy, it they. We need an it girl. God, could you imagine?
I was never even addressing like the hat.
I know. Oh yeah, you're sure.
Shirt.
Well, we talked about it before, and that's why I was like, wait, let's wait. I love that you still have that. That's wild. Was it packed away?
No, it was just in my closet.
No way. You've had it hanging in your closet since 2019.
Yeah.
That's wild. I get rid of clothes like every week. Like, that's crazy. It looks so good on you. Did I give it to you or did you just have it?
You gave it to me at your rehearsal.
Did I have it in my trunk or something?
It was in your trunk,
I always had merch
we
in my
were
trunk.
leaving and you were like, hold on, I think I have something in my trunk.
Oh my God, here, take some merch. That's so funny. I love it. I know. I was like, whoa, what a blast from the past. Heartbreak tour. It's kind of Sabrina coded, I feel like.
It is
Heartbreak.
The font.
Yeah. Cute. And then the hats. Well, this was the perfect time to wear the hats because I didn't have glam for hair because everyone's in freaking Coachella this weekend. No one was back. I was like, what the heck? So I couldn't find any glam for today. I had a great makeup artist, Apollo, shout out, but I had no hair today. So I was like, I'm just have to wear. I don't even know what it looks like, this hair underneath. Because this is like a length. It's not the cute where it's like really long like Paris Hilton. It's like this like kind of like Joe Dirt length. You know what I mean? Where it's kind of like mullety underneath. But I don't know what it looks like. But yeah, we had the hats because Oscar found. How did you find these?
I just saw it on Twitter. Someone posted them. I think they were at like I want to say like a gas station or something, but I think I'm making that up. I'm pretty sure I'm making that up actually. Okay. I just saw a photo of them and I was like, that is so us coded.
I loved it. The pink, it was just so cute. I love the it they. I love pronouns still. I feel like we really need to make pronouns a thing. Like especially I told you on Drag Race, they should put pronouns because
really
it's like
should on Drag Race.
You don't want to misgender people, and I feel like we kind of like let that go a little bit, and people are just like over it or whatever. But I feel like it's still so important. So it's like. Put those pronouns in your emails. And most emails do. Like, I think CAA, they always have, like, their pronouns in it. Like, any professional email always has pronouns. Yeah. So, keep those pronouns. But, like, I like they as me as a person. I should probably, like, clarify this again. But, like, as a performer, like, that's why I relate to a lot of the queens on RuPaul. Is because, like, as a performer, I think of me as a she. But as, like, every day, I really don't feel, like, boy, girl. Like, I don't feel like gender is like important in that situation. So I think that's why I like they. I like they in general. Like I think I probably shouldn't, but I like to just call everybody they because I just don't. I don't know. I don't really see people boy or she, but that's why we should have everyone wear these.
Everyone wear a little hat.
Yeah. So I know you want to be he and stuff. And again, Moses doesn't like genders either. So it's like, I don't really want to be like he, my husband. I like partner, but then someone's like, oh, why do you call him partner? Because it's like, sounds like you're gay or something. It's like, because it's like non-conformatory. It's like, there's no
Sometimes
label.
I use partner too. If you don't know if they're married or something, like if I forget like somebody's married, I'm like, oh, they're a partner.
Partner. Yeah. But also when you're married, it's like, why does it have to be husband and wife? You know what I mean? It's like, can it be just neutral partner? Anyways, we love a pronoun. We would have gotten Moses. He just wanted it. He didn't want anything else on it because he didn't want, because you don't identify as anything.
Describe water. Water is in it.
You can have it water, but yeah, you always liked it. You liked it, just it. And I think that's respectful.
When the pronouns thing came out and I was like, I'm it, and people were like, you're mocking that. I'm like, no, I'm serious about it.
You always been like that.
And yeah, like I said, it will take time, but
right people will catch on. You'll be like 2 ahead in like 30 years. People are like, you know what, I actually identify as that too. Even the ones that go like a little like to some people extreme, but there's like ze and ni, there's all those. I don't know what they all mean, but I respect it. I was like, you know what, whatever. Honestly, I get it. I get wanting to identify as whatever you feel, honestly.
Whatever floats your boat.
Because they is like a lot. It's different, but I like it. I like they, but, Moses don't want to be a they. He wants to be it, and that's fine. And he's being so serious. I feel like people like don't know because I feel like you never talk about it, but I feel like gender, everything, sexuality is just very Not something we want to identify with, that's for sure. And even me, I'd always say hetero. I kept saying hetero, and he always like, why do you always say we're in hetero? I was like, you're right. I shouldn't say anything so.
Yeah, or even if you look at it in a spiritual way, if you identify with your spirit, your soul, it's more than like the body is not the identity.
Yeah.
So like, if I like, I don't know, let's say I'm vegetarian, that's not my identity. It's just my preference.
Yeah.
Whatever. It's like all those things are not who you are really.
I get it. Respect.
Spilled. Kudos for spilling.
Kudos for spilling. What is it? What did you say? Kudos mama for spilling? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Kudos mama for spilling.
Yeah.
I need a little teacup.
Little tea. No, this is the thing. Oscar says this is the thing.
That's like the clap, yeah.
Right, but I'm spilling.
Okay.
I'm spilling.
Oh, you're spilling. Got it. Shout out Megami for you just being an absolute, what do they call him, assassin on the lip sync?
I mean, that was the best part of the show this season.
That was everything. The fact that she knew the little walk into the split, I was
she could predict it is
that
everything.
Was so iconic. The fact that she beat Maya Monpage, because she is good. Like we already know she's like the lip sync queen. I was like gagged. I was like, It was amazing though. She did good. I love like an underdog because everyone said like I would pick her too because like we know we're gonna win against her, and then she made a top 2.
Mm-hmm. And it's always good seeing like a big girl do it too because obviously, I mean, Maya's bigger and she can do like the flips and stuff, but like. I think it's easier, I guess, to win lip syncs. Like if you can
flip and
do all that stuff. Yeah, it's like so physically impressive.
Yeah.
But to just have to rely on your personality too, I think is also
I was gagged. I was like, yes, Megami, because the whole season she kind of went under the radar where I was like, I'm not really impressed either way, but that was everything. And I was so excited. But Morphine obviously deserved to win. She was so good. But
I love Morphine.
I love Morphine too, actually. I loved her wig reveal. I loved everything. I was just like, God, she's so good.
And I just love the way that she talks and like the way that she narrates. Mm-hmm. It's so funny. She's like, this is the second to final boss. I'm on 70% health. Like, it's all so cute.
Is that like Fortnite?
Any video game, really.
Love
the way
that.
she was like, I'm on 30% health and I'm going against the final boss. It's all the progression.
I didn't even get that, but now I'm like, oh, yeah, that's very Fortnite coded. It's very us. She looks so beautiful. She's like one of the most beautiful.
So pretty.
We love.
Kudos, Morphine.
Kudos, mama. Spill. Oh, man. Poor Q not making it to top 4. It's crazy. We already talked about that last week, but not being in the top 4. We're into Drag Race now, but now it's almost over.
What are we going to do when it ends? Oh, my God.
Literally nothing's on.
There's like nothing in between. I don't know.
What is on?
What are we going to do?
What do we watch? Don't we watch something? We started watching something because nothing was on. What did we start watching?
The Palm.
Oh, yeah, Palm.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's not the same. Ricky Martin. About it. He looks so different.
Did you see he got a boner at the Madonna concert? We forgot to talk about
that. Was that real?
I'm pretty sure it was real. At first, I didn't think so. I thought it was just like, the zipper or something in the pants. But then like TMZ had multiple angles that confirmed it was
Isn't he like almost 60?
Maybe.
I just don't think you can get him that easy at that age. I don't think you just can unless you pop something before. But it's like
52. 52, you definitely can still get hard.
Not that easily. And at Madonna, was it for Madonna or for who?
No, it's because they had all these like Vogue dancers, and then there was guys that like were in jock straps, and they were doing like lap dances.
Oh, well, okay. Like, that's not fair. That of course. Well, then who's judging him? Like, if you're getting a lap dance, what are you gonna be like? Oh my God, how dare you? Ew, that's so gross. Like,
I don't think anyone was saying that's so gross. Everyone was just like, ooh.
Was it good?
I think so. It was really hard to tell because everything was kind of like grainy. You would think that like quality of videos would be like excellent.
Everything looks like it's shot at a potato.
Everything that's important, you never have clear video. Oh yeah,
maybe they shot it on that camera. Everyone has the freaking digital cameras now.
Girls now with like little.
Where are we gonna take pictures? I love that you thought this.
Now I'm like we can because like whenever we don't have a photographer here, like we don't have like BTS. Like what if we want Moses with his finesse, us with our little hats? You know what I mean? Like the in between the big guests because you even like. You still get really glam sometimes and you don't have a guest, and it's like that still needs to be documented. Okay,
I love that. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. I know we haven't had our photographer because he's been out for like 2 weeks, like on vacation somewhere, or like I don't know, he's shooting something somewhere else. So all of our pictures we've been taking with an iPhone, and I literally had someone email me like an edit. I should send them to you because they're like, here, edit them to look better. I was like, he's like, so fix your feed better, so they're like brighter. I was like, because I honestly just put them up raw. Like I was like, whatever. And I'm like, I was shocked. And like, Tana asked me to take it down because I know she loves to Facetune. But to me, she looks so. No one said anything. Like, oh, she looks so good. You know what I mean? And I didn't Facetune or anything. So I love a non-Facetune photo. But I should send them to you for like, because the guy who sent it to me for an edit, I already posted him though. So I was like, I'm not gonna take him down and repost. But I didn't have a photographer for Alexa or Tana because he's been out of town. But hopefully he'll be back He might be back this week. I don't know. But that's why, in case people wondered, I don't know. I don't want anyone to be like, oh my gosh, you can get a photographer for this. We love a photographer. But we have a photographer now with the digital.
Now we're with the it girls. Are you gonna all the Gen Z girls?
Yeah, set up a dispo for.
Oh, I should, huh?
Just Trish dispo.
Yeah. Disposable? Yeah, like you. Yeah.
My account was disposable originally, and now it's backup or something like that. But.
And then before we leave, I guess, the Coachella segment, we can say, on our Patreon today, we'll review influencers' outfits on the extended episode. So
on our Patreon today, we'll review Coachella outfits. So go to patreon.com/JustTrish. Was that right?
Yes, slayed it.
Keep both of those in.
I guess we can go into JOJO SIWA now.
Yes. Was Color Daddy out when we did the last Hot Topics?
No, it just was teased.
We always miss it.
I know, but like a couple hours. Too,
I know.
I think when we posted it, it was.
I know. I kind of have sympathy for her, you know, again, but this is everything, it kind of just confirmed everything we already say, is that she's like this victim of like child exploitation, child like grooming, child like a little bit of child abuse, like verbally or whatever. Also just growing up too fast, and she like admits it. So it's like we kind of confirmed everything. Because I always thought maybe she doesn't think of herself as a victim, and I don't think she does think of herself as a victim, but I mean she had a lot of pressures as like a kid and stuff, and she was kind of admitting to all that. Oh, just like and the way she said everything too. The thing that stuck out to me the most was her talking about like her mom and her family, and I was kind of like, oh damn, like they really, I don't even know if like taking advantage is the right word, but they really were relying heavily on her. And I just feel like with like child stars, if you're relying on your child to like make the money, like I don't care if you like gave up your career and your work for him and stuff like that. It's like you still should have like savings and backup for yourself, so you don't have to like rely on your child to succeed. Because I think that's where she probably, and this is why I'm saying I know she has a warped sense of like what's right and what's wrong, because she was like, oh, it's a privilege to get to take care of my family at 17, that they all were relying on me and stuff. And it's like, it's not a privilege. That's like so much pressure, and like that just shouldn't happen. I don't care if she was like a billionaire and her family wasn't. It's like it just like should not happen. And the fact that only 15% goes in a Keoghan account, I thought that was interesting too. Like the Keoghan account is like an account where they put like money, like Honey Boo Boo just recently talked about it, how like 15% is supposed to go into the Keoghan account, and where's the other 85% goes? It goes to the parents. And I get it. Like Mama June was like, oh, you know, it went to like your hair and this and that. Like, I guess maybe like headshots or costumes or something like that. I guess have a little bit, but I think it should be at least 50% at least into the Keoghan account, right? Because it's like you only need so much for expenses. And she also said that she wished she had more of a parent, and that wouldn't just talk about business, because she said her and her mom always talked about business, and her mom always said that they were 50-50 on it. And that they were worried that JoJo was going to leave them high and dry. So when she got the money from the Keoghan account when she turned 18, her family were so happy that they didn't just like, she didn't just leave them high and dry. And she goes, oh, I would never do that. Like, I would never leave them high and dry. And it's just like a weird thing all around. The 50-50 is weird. The fact that you're like, that's your fears, that they're going to like get their money and then like leave you after you took 85% of their money somewhere. Like, you know, maybe they didn't, maybe they gave it to her. I don't know. But the whole thing seems a little odd, a little sus. And it made me feel really bad for her, especially the way she talked about it. Just all of it, just wishing she had a parent, thinking of it as a privilege, being able to take care of all of them at 17. It's a privilege to take care of your family for sure when they're older. Like if your parents are like 70 and not working, like my mom had a really bad hip. She has like neuropathy, and she was like bartending her whole life. And it's like, yeah, it's a privilege at like 65, I can retire her, but it's like not when I'm 17 and I don't know what my future holds, you know? It's like, I don't know. The whole thing made me very sad for JoJo. And I know she doesn't see herself in a sad way or a victim way, but I think she's a victim of a lot that she doesn't see, and it makes me really sad for her. Mm-hmm. And probably what we've always suspected is why she is kind of the way she is, like where she doesn't see right and wrong. Like, oh, there's nothing wrong with being friends 13 with a 30. You know what I mean? Like, just like, you don't see it. Oh, there's nothing wrong with being yelled at on TV. Because some of the Dance Moms clips I see of Abby Lee and like yelling at JoJo is like crazy. Like literally just like snapping at her, yelling at her, making her cry. And I was like, how did she not see that as like something wrong? I don't know. It's just like, she talks about having kids, and I'm just like, I hope she sees when she has kids, like that's wrong. Because otherwise it repeats the cycle, right? Like you just like, oh, teachers can yell at our children, even if it's for like fake or whatever. I don't know. It's so weird. I just feel like she has a lot more issues than she knows, which is evident from this interview.
Mm-hmm. And it's funny because Zendaya also talked about this kind of recently too. She said in an interview like how she's looking back at like child stardom differently, because she was saying that like all of a sudden like she became like the breadwinner of the family, and it was like so much responsibility on her, and it was like all of a sudden she was like thrust into adulthood and like skipping childhood. Mm-hmm. So she's saying like now it's hard for her to like like appreciate what she's going through, because she's so used to like growing up so fast and like not being able to try different things. Like she's just like stuck in this like very adult like business mindset, and she says that now she's just like constantly tense, and she's trying to like undo all the like everything that she like became through like child stardom and coming up and stuff.
Where did she say that? I saw it on TikTok, but where was this? Was it just...
She talked about it in Vogue.
Interesting. And she's still like what you would look at from the outside as like well-rounded, as like she seems humbled and like grounded. You know what I mean? It's like, it's not like JoJo who has like erratic behavior. It's like she seems very just like
well-adjusted,
yeah.
Considered, yeah.
Yeah, so that's interesting that she said that.
Yeah, she said that like if she could do anything differently, like she wishes she like could have gone to school and like had like some kind of normal childhood, because I get like that growing up phase of just like trying different things and figuring out who you are. Like all of a sudden you can't do that when you're the breadwinner of the family. You're taking care of so many people, and so many people rely on you, so you just don't get a chance to like grow and like, you know, figure out who you are like in an organic way. You have people telling you who to be,
right at that age, and they really should put 100% of their money in a Keoghan account, because like it really should be like not even a thing where you rely on your child for money. It should be looked at as like a hobby, like dance or something, where they can just do it for fun if they want to. And then obviously they get paid and look at the money when they're 18, but as a child, you don't know that kind of stuff. So it's like, you should still, I think you should put 100% in the Keoghan account and still pay for the stuff they need. Because if your child was in dance, for instance, that's expensive. You have to pay for competition and costumes and all stuff like that. And that would come out of your pocket. You know what I mean? You wouldn't take it out of your child's pocket. So I just think that, yeah, the whole system seems a little messed up. And this is someone I wanted to be a child star. I always thought like too with my daughter, I was like, oh, you know, she always loves to perform. So I was like, oh, you know, she wants to perform, I'll let her perform. But yeah, as far as like going on like TV shows and stuff, that's a lot. That's a lot of pressure anyways, to just like have to go to work and go to school and have this like routine. It's just like a lot for a kid. I don't know. Obviously, some of them are fine, like Hilary Duff. Well, we don't know. I mean, she hasn't really like opened up about it, but
because from JoJo, it really sounds like it's the parents. It's the parents' fault, because in a way, it's okay for you to do the shows. It's okay to do all of that, but the parents don't need to involve the kid in adult matters like business. She says she talked to her about the business and all that. The kid doesn't need to know. You're paying the mortgage, you're paying the bills, you're doing like, they don't need the pressure that adults have. They can still have it as like they go into the playground to play, or they go into a dance class. But when you give kids adult issues, they're not supposed to deal with that, just like they're not supposed to deal with their parents' relationship issues, business issues, all of that stuff. You just keep it out of them so they can enjoy what they're doing as a kid. And the parents might be reliant on them, you know, if they really gave up everything to do this full time, but I think that's the issue. Add the pressure. The issue is what you talk to them about.
No,
what
but
you give them.
But that's the problem. If they like quit their job, like JoJo's family, you know, like they quit their job in hopes that their child's going to be a star and bring in millions, or maybe they are bringing in a lot of money. Like, oh, now we can quit our job. It's like, even as like an adult, like at 20 years old, if like Malibu's a billionaire, I'm not going to think like, oh, we should stop working. Malibu will take care of us. Like, it's like at any stage in life, I don't think a parent should ever like rely on their child to take care of them or anything like that. It's like, that should still be their money. And just because they're a child doesn't mean like you can, you know what I mean? If you can't support your children financially, like you can't rely on them.
Because the other parallel you can look at, which a lot of this is coming from, is the athletic world. Like if you look at the way kids are treated in that world, they are being shouted at and abused, and they're, you know, it's a very harsh world. Athletics, dance world,
yeah, but that shouldn't
all of that,
happen
right?
Either.
So now with this show, we actually get to see it on camera. That's the main difference.
Show?
Dance Moms.
Oh, right.
What you saw on camera is what happens in real life everywhere all the time. I mean, if you see kids that go to the Olympics and all those things, they really are treated that way. And there is a lot of abuse and verbal abuse, and girls coming from ballet with eating disorders because of the abuse. So now we just get to see it.
Well, yeah, now we know to correct it, because obviously it's like some messed up. And it's like, I think it's 10 times worse. I mean, obviously, like verbal abuse at a kid any age, I would like, hell no. But when it's on TV too, then you're just like embarrassing this child, like, you know, just like putting it all out there. I don't know. JoJo's gone through it for sure. I'm surprised she is as well adjusted as she is and able to like, you know, have this like thick skin and stuff like that. Like, she's pretty good. But it's probably why a lot of the dance mom girls like leave the spotlight, because they're probably just like, this shit is too hard. Like, as it would make most people crumble, most kids be like, I don't want to do this. I don't know. It made me sad. And the way she talked about it so nonchalantly, and it's like, oh, that's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel bad. And I get it. I get the mom's perspective too, because I get it. Like, you want your child to be happy. And if they are so talented, right? Like, they're so talented. You want them to be a star. You want them to be happy. You want them to be set for life. But then it just gets a little murky. Yeah, like you're saying, oh, we're 50-50 and this is a business and thank God for you didn't leave us. And I don't know. It's just like the whole thing. I think it's like, it gets a little murky.
With her parents, there was a lot of emotional blackmail. Because
Yeah.
they've been grooming her all her life to take care of them in the future. And not
We
to
don't
leave them.
know that.
That's what you just said. That's what we just said. Like,
Yeah.
all of their life, they're like, don't leave us, and we hope you don't leave us, and you take care of us. Like, they've been all of her life making it known for her that
Yeah.
if she leaves them,
Well, just to clarify, they said that after when she took her cougar money. They're like, oh, thank you for not leaving us high and dry. So I don't know. We don't know for sure if they were saying that to her. But yeah, it sounds like obviously she said like she wished she had a parent and not someone that just talked business all the time. So yeah, You're right. Yeah, and it's hard when you have a little star, because JoJo was such a star. Like, I totally get it. Like, and it's so hard because already with Malibu, I'm like, oh, she's such a star. And we've had people like offer like for commercials, like big ones, and I'm just like, she's just like so little right now, and I'm just like, oh, I don't know. And then, but then when she gets 5, it's like, then she's a 5-year-old little girl, and then it just becomes a whole thing. And I'm like, oh, what age? But I know I loved performing as a kid. Like, oh my God, like any chance I got, like musical theater, I was always in the background, but I was like 4 years old. I was playing Orphan Annie, like not Annie, I was the background orphan, but I was just like always in stuff. I always wanted to audition. I remember at like 5, there was this thing called Barbizon. Do you remember that? Mm-mm. I'm surprised because it was in Southern California because my dad lived out here, and it was like Barbizon models, and you would go and like pay like, it was literally like a couple $1,000s, and your kid could be in like modeling school, and I'd go to that, and it would like, you would take pictures and acting classes, and I was one called BB's Kids, and I was always just taking acting because I just like wanted to do it so bad, and I wanted more than anything to be like on TV. So it's like, I get it, but yeah, how do you protect them so they don't turn weird?
Yeah, and it's hard too because like I get how like parents wouldn't really be able to work like a normal like 9-to-5 job and like also take their kids to like auditions and all this stuff too, because it's like it would be, the time would overlap, right? Like during the 9-to-5 is when they would do like, you know, all the auditions and like filmings or castings and all this stuff too, so it's hard to like balance both. Then if the parents can't work, then they're, I guess, kind of like having to gamble on like the kid becoming a star or something. But it's just like you can't put your kid in that position, I guess, is like the big thing, like, you know.
But yeah, I don't think all of that is true though, not necessarily, because I think Drake Bell said like his mom would drive him up after work, so like he would come up at like from like 4 to 10 o'clock and audition or something like that.
Yeah, his dad would pick him up after school.
Okay.
And go.
Oh, so he was going to school. So I feel like
and then once he got something though, and then he became Drake's manager.
Yeah. Right.
It's hard.
Yeah. I
Because
don't know.
Drake, for example, that was his dream. Like, he was happy. He was like, that's all he wanted to do, and his dad supported him in that. And they were very close. So it all comes down to the parent and how they handle the situation.
Yeah.
I know. I'm still not like anti Kid Star, because like you said, some people like love it and they were like so happy.
I've seen, for example, very close people that the parents wanted the kid to be a dancer, and at some point the kid just didn't want to, but that's the world their entire
That's
life.
that's like a whole other thing. Well, I think then, with Drake obviously like spending the night at like a man's house, and you know, that I think that's like where I don't know, and that's like the shocking part, right? It's like, how do you let your kid do that? But I don't know. I guess people.
Well, if the kid, that in Drake's case, that was awful because the industry was the toxic one, where, you know, if you don't do what they say, you're going to lose the job and never work there again. So you walk that fine line of like, you have to, because the dad had suspicions, but they were like, oh, you're being phobic and you're being problematic.
Yeah, I'm actually like, that's what was like the most shocking about Alexa's story. I thought hers was so interesting, is like she continued to work after she quit Zoe 101.
Oh, yeah.
Like, she worked a lot, actually. It wasn't really until she met her husband. I thought that was like so interesting and good in a way. Like, because it is like, I would be the same way. It's like, oh my God, if you, like the Sacha Baron Cohen thing, like if you like say no, or if you're difficult, people don't want to work with you again. I think that does happen. But I was surprised at how many jobs Alexa got after that, like up until like being an adult. And I was like, I guess that's good. She wasn't like blacklisted from whatever.
Just Nickelodeon, I guess. But
right, but she got to go on Disney. And I like JoJo in the Call Her Daddy interview too, because I like that she was more like casual.
I wish she wasn't wearing that damn hat.
I kind of live for the hat. I do, and I'm not even being ironic and going like pick me, like being quirky. I kind of lived for it. It was so like, it gave it, because you know what, she was being casual, but then she had a little bit of glam to her. Kind of liked it. Was she wearing herself on her shirt?
Yeah, it's
I
her
love that
Karma
too.
merch.
That's everything.
That's what she wore when she was paparazzi at the sex shop, I think.
Was it the same day?
No.
Oh, she didn't have the
has
hat.
a lot of that same shirt.
I want that shirt. I really do like JoJo. Like, I really do. And I think that's my frustration with all of it. It's like, oh, man, I really do like her. So when all that other stuff came out, I'm like, oh, no.
Yeah.
And I always have. I just like thought she was, especially now, I like her resilience and I like her, I don't know, like just doubling down, tripling down, just being like, I don't know, just being wild, you know, not knowing the girl who sang her Karma originally. She's like, who's Britt Smith? I mean, like, maybe she doesn't know, you know, she might be just so busy. She's like not online, but she's making the rounds. File, call her daddy. We're ready.
Yeah.
We're ready, JoJo. Because she does, like, that's what I'm saying. The Call Her Daddy, like, gave me, like, a little bit of glimpse that she's, like, a real person. And she, like, has these, like, kind of sad moments in her life that she can acknowledge that were kind of, like, sad for her. Like, the mom thing is specifically just being, like, I wish I had a mom and not, like, someone talking business all the time. But I would like to talk to her.
And then the thing that kind of gagged me, I didn't watch it, but I was, like, reading articles about it. I didn't know that her girlfriend moved in with her when she was just 17.
Oh
that
my
part
God.
was crazy.
I didn't even make that note. That's right. That, again, red flag. Also, again, like, goes back to the parents.
Yeah.
Like, I guess they all said they regretted it, but, like, what? Like, of course. Like, why would you first of all, like, it's hard to even, like, let someone date at 16, much less, like, have someone in the same, you know, parents leave their door open. Like, leave your door open. But you're going to have them move in at 16. Like, what was the reason? What did they say? Did she say?
She said it was COVID. It was summer. It just kind of all happened. Then she came to California and I was like, don't leave. 2 weeks turned into 4 weeks, turned into 8 weeks, turned into 9 months. Then we were a married couple at 17 and 16 and we had to break up. Wild.
Figuratively, they were married, right? Not like literally.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I think just in the sense of like living together.
Crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And once again, I think it just goes back to parents being like, of course everybody wants their boyfriend or girlfriend to live with them at that age, but it's like, what? Also, her parents, like, what was happening? That's so odd.
I know. And then she said, my mom says all the time, I should have never allowed my 16-year-old's partner to live with us. That was not healthy for you, much less for her and her family. Someone should have put their foot down. But no one at the time felt it was right to.
This wasn't that long ago. This was like 4 years ago.
Yeah, 2020.
It's not like it's like 20 years ago where like we didn't know back then. You know, it's like it's very like a parent. This is like a weird thing to do. Like that's so odd.
Yeah.
And you're a parent and you're
16.
16. And the brother was living with them. I remember like the brother lived with them and the brother's girlfriend lived. Like just like, I don't know. That's kind of.
That part is very, very weird.
Yeah. What did she say? Anything else more about it? Just
that, yeah. Well, she says now when she like looks at 16-year-olds as like a 20, almost 21-year-old, she's like, oh my God, you were my age when my girlfriend moved in with me.
That's what I'm saying. She sees that, JoJo sees that from a 16 to 20 year age difference, but like the parents are clearly in their 40s. So like you can't reflect 4 years ago. Let's say you're 44. Oh, when I was 40, I didn't know better. It's like if a 16-year-old is seeing how wrong it was at 20, it's like, how do you not see that when you're so far removed from 16? Because 16 is so young. Like I even talk about this like with Mel, like dating. I'm just like, I don't know. Like, do you let someone date at 16? That's so, I guess I maybe like going to the movie or something, but definitely not like in the house, door closed. It's definitely not living. Like, that's crazy. That's wild to me. I don't know. It's so weird. And the fact that they're all like seeing this now, not that far later, it's like, which makes me want to like, I would have delved into that more, being like, okay, what was that like? Like, tell me, because it's like that's crazy. And then you're also doing all this like workload. It's during the XOMG pop days, so it's kind of weird. Like, and you're a superstar on top of that. It's like kind of just a recipe for disaster.
Yeah, and then I think too, JoJo kind of alluded. She didn't say which girlfriend, but she said one of the exes she was like. She had a lot of trauma from because there was some like legal stuff. Like she was very vague about it, but people think like timeline wise what she was saying.
Like what was this girl?
Yeah, she couldn't even like specify what it was. But then there was this one Instagram where her mom was recording her on her Instagram story, and JoJo was like having a fit about something. She's like, "What happened?" She's like, "Girls are using me for clout and for fame." Like, and she's talking about dating or whatever. And obviously, she has the song, like, you know, my exes want fame, whatever.
That's so interesting, too, because it's like, how do you know? Like, you, like, maybe, probably, yes, but also, like, I think with Britney Spears, too, it's just like, how do you know if someone wants you for you? It's like, really, I feel like everybody wants a little spotlight if you're dating someone famous, right?
I think especially the two girls, her two like most public relationships are both TikTok girls, right? So it's like, you know.
Oh, yeah. It's so hard. She needs to date someone like literally like an accountant or something like that. You know what I mean?
An accountant at 20 years old. I guess those exist, the 20-year-old accountant.
Okay, well.
Maybe someone in college. I don't know.
Interesting. Yeah, and also when you're like famous too, you probably do have so much more, like reasons to get sued, right? Like I was 16 and they didn't take care. I don't know. There's probably so many other reasons.
Yeah, I wonder what it was though. She was so vague about it. She said someone from her team called her and then said like, no, like this got leaked out from her, like the girlfriend or whatever, and it was like a whole thing. And she has like all this trauma now from that. I'm like,
That's what I was going to say is that when somebody is that close in your house all the time, they see more than you want the world to see.
It's a lot.
They have, pictures, videos, and everything.
Was it JoJo? Were we watching someone, her ex-girlfriend, or was it someone else's ex, kind of talking about like, oh, how awful of a person they were? But it really just sounded like they were just an awful girlfriend. It wasn't like anything. Everyone was making it a big thing. It might have been one of JoJo's exes. I don't know.
I think so. It was like another. She like didn't say the name or anything, but
Yes.
Yeah.
And she was kind of just describing, but it was just sounded like she was kind of just like a girlfriend and not like this horrible person that like did these all. I mean, she didn't say anything like abusive, but the way she was like framing it made it sound like this really bad thing. And everyone's like, oh my god, this is about JoJo. Like, how dare she? And it's like sometimes it's just like you have a shitty relationship, and it's like it sucks when you're famous because then it gets blasted out and people again just like want to get on like a hate train to like hate you. Why do you think JoJo has a hate train? You're so good at deciphering why people have hate trains.
She's been like obnoxious and she's like erased like other gay artists and claimed to be like the cutting edge first of a generation.
You're right. You're right on that one.
It looks a little ridiculous. But
she did clarify the gay pop thing. She did say
she wants to be the CFO of
She's like, maybe
pop.
I didn't invent it, but I'm trying to like bring it back or something. Everyone's just like, okay, girl. She walks it back a little bit. We like that. We like a little bit walk back. Okay, fair enough on that hate train. I know. I mean, there's just like a lot with her. And I'm like, God, it really is crazy. And also pressure for her. I remember when I had a girlfriend, like just a friend, come stay with me at 14 for a summer in California. I met her up at Michael Jackson's house. She was a Michael Jackson fan. We were both 14, and she just stayed with us that summer because my dad always took me to Michael Jackson's house like once a week. But she was from Atlanta, so she stayed with us, and she was supposed to be with us for the whole summer. After 2 weeks, I was like, I don't want her in the house anymore. Like, I was just so annoyed, right? And it's like, that's a lot at that age. I was a little younger, 14, but just like, that's just a lot to have someone like live with you. Like, all of a sudden now, my dad also has to cater to her, and like, he's making her grilled cheeses too. And I was just like, no, I don't want this. You know what I mean? So it's just like a lot to like have that. You're just too young, Most people don't move in with their significant others even at 18. So yeah.
I really couldn't imagine being that young, and I mean, I didn't have a boyfriend.
Same.
So I actually
my first boyfriend was literally Moses that I lived with, so I was like 32. Yeah. I was like, that's my first, so I don't know how that goes, but that would be wild. Yeah. Oh my God. If I had the person that I was hooking up with at 16 moving with me, he would have been like a 50-year-old man living with us, which would have been wild. That would have been crazy. I think I moved out to be with that person, so.
Oh my God.
It's a lot. It's wild. Different traumas, but, still the same. Oh, JoJo. I'm rooting for you anyways. I hope it all works out. And again, I just think like 20 years from now is when she can come on Just Trish because she'll have like this more.
Well, she's already looking back at 4 years ago a little bit differently. Maybe the gap will be smaller than we think.
I think so. I think even like Tana, who's like 25, looks back at like her at 17 and be like, this was like not right, what people did and stuff. So
I guess kind of related, another weird relationship. Sam Taylor Johnson, her, the director with
yes. When you say that, I'm like, no, yes, that's like I didn't know the name.
She kind of talked about her 23-year age gap with Aaron Taylor Johnson, her husband, who she met when he was 18 on the set of a movie that they worked on together.
Did they hyphenate their names together?
Yeah, Sam Taylor and then Aaron. Aaron Taylor, Sam Johnson, I think.
Oh, interesting. I think. We're just talking about that. I do love the hyphenated names, but okay. That's beside the point. So they met when he was 18 and she was the director.
Yeah.
How old was she?
23 years older. So 18 plus 23.
Why do they have us do the math? What is that? 41? Wait, what? 23? 20 years older is 38.
Yeah, 41.
Math.
Wait, that's actually crazy.
That's crazy.
That 41 to 18.
Yeah. But isn't that the same with who's the girl? Who's that girl? The one that's Ariana's friend. Liz Gillies.
Oh, I don't know. Oh,
She
someone
met
from Victorious.
She met her husband when she was like 16 on Victorious.
Weird.
Anyways, 18, I guess, adult. So I guess legally it's cool. Okay. But like, ick. Also, when you're like working for someone and it's like you're the director and that's your. But still, a director dating an actor, like, I mean, it's nothing new, but it's just kind of like, again, the power dynamic of it, especially when they are 18. Wait, what happened with them? What's the news?
Well, she got asked about like if she avoids social media because of all the hate that she gets, and she gets called a groomer a lot, obviously, on social media. And
kind of an overused word. I think that it does apply to a lot of situations. I don't know if it's like grooming if you met someone as an adult on the set.
I guess
because grooming is like in the way I like perceive it, right, is like you befriend someone, you have their trust, like you're kind of like manipulate them, and I think you have to be a child to be groomed. Am I right? Because like the whole point is like, you know, like Adam McIntyre at 14, right? You're my friend and you're this and I'm confiding in you, and so now we have this loyalty and we're bonding. Like I think that's more like.
But 18 is kind of early enough to
mold.
I mean, now the relationship is the result of what they perceive as grooming.
What's the grooming part though? Like, because if they just worked on a movie together.
Well, to get the role in the movie, and then she was his director, and then that creates a whole different relationship. I did have lunch with them in New York right after the movie came out.
You had lunch with those two people? Mm-hmm. Why? Wow. Just by yourself?
No, with another person.
Okay. How was it? Were they nice?
Yeah, she was very nice. She didn't say much. It was like having a mom and her kid.
Oh, okay. You know? Wow, disturbing. But wow, you really are. Most like Forrest Gump. He's just like in the picture with everybody. He's like, yeah, after all that happened, I had lunch with them. I was like, okay.
No, the movie just came out, and then right after.
What movie is it?
John Lennon. He played John Lennon, right?
Nowhere Boy, the John Lennon biopic.
Mm-hmm.
He played John Lennon?
Mm-hmm. No, it was a big deal. I mean, the big deal, the role itself, to get the role. That's why it's kind of like, almost like, let the movie come out and let him go. Like, don't date.
Let him go. Right. Like, have a fling, I guess. 18's young. But it is hard, too, when you see them. Yeah, that's young. No, that's very young. I agree. No one likes them together. No, I know that. No. I always see people like Ariana do a movie with Aaron Johnson next.
26. So he was only 7 years older than his stepdaughter, like by the time they got married.
Oh my God. That is kind of
weird. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that should definitely be a rule. Like you should not have children closer to like your partner's age.
Yeah. She said that we're a bit of an anomaly. But that's the thing. After 14 years, you think surely by now it doesn't really matter. That's her stance on it.
Oh, girl, no. Bad take. Bad. It's like Woody Allen with his wife. It's like, well, we've been together 40 years, so it should be okay, even though I met her when she was literally a child adopted by my wife at the time. Like, that doesn't, no.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's not. That's not.
Very that. And it's like, to make it worse, too, it's all for like the Amy Winehouse biopic that like looks terrible.
Oh, she did this one?
Yeah, she directed it. The one that's getting like trashed. To make it worse, this is what she's promoting. Is like this really bad movie.
Amy Winehouse.
So it's like double homicide for sure.
Yeah, is he in it?
No, he's not in it.
Okay.
He's rumored to be James Bond though. So
he's like a big deal too.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's like, wow, that's interesting. Well, I guess in that sense, yeah, like in a way. Yeah, you kind of get groomed, I guess. When you meet someone at such a young age, that's the whole point, right? Why older people like young people, because you kind of mold them into who you want them to be.
Yeah. I wonder like how old he was when he started acting too.
Because she's also, she's the equivalent of an A-list celebrity, right?
Oh, she is?
Her whole world as a director is with those people in that world. He wants to be an actor. Now he's stepped into that world, you know, right. by marriage with her. That's kind of where it gets problematic, you know.
Interesting.
Because she hands him everything he ever wanted in a way.
Yeah, but now he's like a big star, so you'd think he wouldn't need that.
So, but the question is, you know, that's the grooming part. Like, is he feeling dependent on staying with her? Or
the connection.
Did he use her to get to that point and then he leaves her? Either way, it's murky, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, when you're young, you just go with.
And he is a child star too. His first thing was when he was 11.
What was it?
His first credit. It was this TV series called Armadillo. I don't know.
Love it. Check it out. Armadillo. Streaming on Vudu. I just didn't know these people at all. Like, I don't really know anything they've been in. I just keep hearing about them, and it gives me the ick for sure.
OJ.
R.I.P. I don't know.
I don't know either. Rest.
What did Caitlin say? She said,
"Thank God he's gone" or something.
Oh
what
my God, crazy. I get it.
I get it too.
But damn.
Wild.
Let's get Kato Kalin on the podcast. He's making the rounds again. I did a movie with, like, it's so weird. I say I never did a movie, but I did this movie that I don't even think it saw the light of day. Maybe it did. It was with Ron Jeremy, but Kato Kalin was there too. And now I can't think of the name of that movie, but I have a picture with him. And I was like, God, he's back around again. I didn't even know what he was famous for. I guess he's an actor, but I didn't know he was famous for staying at OJ's house or something. And I was like, oh man, he's making the rounds again.
I'll list your acting credits on IMDb and tell me if you think it's one of these.
Okay. I love that. Wait, am I on IMDb?
You're on IMDb.
How
You have
did I
a
get
lot.
on there? Really?
Yeah.
Can people just do it like Wikipedia, just enter it, or do they have to be verified?
I have no idea.
Oh my God, I live. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I think the productions themselves, they write it in.
Really?
OT.
I
Well,
didn't think I was listed as anything on there.
well, you are on here
What?
in David's Vlog TV series,
What?
2 episodes.
Okay, well.
And all your music videos are in here
Wait,
as well.
okay, so people must just be able to add them. Because there's no way.
Blood Queens.
Blood Queens. Wait, Blood Queens. Wait, why does that sound familiar?
Isn't that the Scream Queens? Oh my God, what's her? Oh my, Gabby Fancy Vlogs. What's her name? DiMartino.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I was like, wait, that sounds. Oh my God, you're so good. Wow, you really
it
are
took me
so
a
good.
second to get there.
Wow. Oh, that's right. I did act in that. Shout out Blood Queens.
Okay, I'll read you from end
Okay.
to 2007 to whenever we get to it.
2007. Wow.
Amy Winehouse, Tears Dries on Their Own. Not that.
Yeah.
You're just a
No.
streetwalker.
I was, yes.
Yes, man. You were the convention goer.
That's true. That's actually true. There was a lot of people at the convention, but I actually was there.
Eminem, We Made You. You were
Yeah.
Jessica Simpson. Tim and Eric, Awesome Show. Great job. You were Eric State.
Yeah.
The Ultimate Man. You were Tracy.
Oh,
for
yeah. That
3
was like a web
episodes.
series.
Faster. You were an uncredited stripper.
That's true. I saw The Rock. I was supposed to have an ice pick, and they cut my scene for real, but I did have a scene with The Rock.
Conan. You were a football player.
Yeah. I was
Okay.
Diploma Doll.
To Get Her. You were a fantasy girl.
To Get Her. Oh, that was like a weird, like, low budget. That was not it, though. That's not the one.
Less savvy faves, Sleepless and Silver Lake. You were
Marilyn.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Modern Family, Plastic Surgery Girl, uncredited.
Uncredited.
Shane Dawson TV, you were a stripper.
Oh, shout out.
Giza's, you were a bored blonde girl.
God, what was that one too? God, I remember doing these because I was just like background in a lot of these.
That was 2011. It has a
It wasn't
4.9
Giza's.
out of 10.
Is it out? Like, can you see me in these movies? Like, I always wonder if they're like out because I did do a lot of like weird shit like that.
I don't know. You're listed in
Okay.
the cast.
I remember that name. I just don't remember. God, I forgot all these.
It was a comedy directed by Mark Jackson.
Oh, he was British. Yes, I remember this. Oh, it was weird. We shot in like people's apartments and stuff. It felt a little sketch. But I always thought it was like a big deal. I was into like Edgar Wright at the time. I was into like all those shows like Hot Buzz.
Oh my God, dude. This ain't Jaws XXX is here.
Oh, that's one of them.
Sex, Drugs, and Randy Von Stone. You were a sex tape girl?
Ooh, that might be the Ron Jeremy one and the Kato one. I think that might be it.
Let's see.
Who directed
Ron
this?
Jeremy, yes.
Oh, there it is. Boom. We figured it. Like, was like Jamie Kennedy involved or something? Or like who directed it?
Dave Sheridan.
Yeah, that's like Jamie Kennedy's like partner.
Oh,
yes.
okay.
And he was kind of like a big deal too. So I thought, oh, this is like a big deal. But did the movie ever come out?
It doesn't have a rating, so I don't think so.
Does it have Kato? Or am I just like a mad? Or was he just there? I feel like he was.
The top cast is only you, Ron Jeremy, and Magali Widmer as Amy Winehouse.
Oh, wow.
That's the whole cast that's listed here.
Oh, I have a. Oh my God! Please remind me to put this in the album. I do have a picture with an Amy Winehouse lookalike. In the same thing as Ron Jeremy. It's on my Facebook. Oh, that's so funny! Wow, was Amy Winehouse alive then? Like, what year is it?
It's 2011.
That is so weird. Yeah, we were like in a hotel room, but I thought it was on the up and up because Dave Sheridan had like an office with Jamie Kennedy, so I thought it was kind of I don't know. That's so. But I swear there was like a Kato scene in there too somewhere. Like he was there. Oh, how funny! That's the one. Wow, we nailed it. Sex, Drugs, and Randy Van Stone. I always wanted to see like these movies because my scenes were so random and they were sketchy as hell. Like it literally was like a motel on like the side of the road. It's like come show up. Like I don't know. I don't even know what I did. I'm trying to think. I'm like, did I like make out with him or something? I don't know. Something weird.
I love your IMDb page.
I mean, I love that they have all this stuff because I kind of like the geezers I remember now. I was like, oh yeah, I remember that British guy and like. I want to say, like, we went on a date or something, or we at least hung out after. I don't know. It's something weird. God, it's such a flashback.
Trisha Paytas, actress, producer, director. Trisha Paytas was born on 8th May, 1988 in Riverside, California.
Yeah, shout
She's
out.
an actress and producer. She has been married to Moses Hochman since 11 December 2021.
Wow.
They have one child.
Okay, who wrote that?
I
Slay.
have no idea.
That's pretty good. Okay, we
That's
love that.
IMDb biography.
How funny. Love the 3 8s. Yeah, abundance, 888. Everyone talks about angel numbers. I was born on an angel number, baby. I was 888. That's crazy. Okay, I love all the credits. I'm sure that's actually so funny because I did so many like random films or whatever, but I never saw. I forgot about Faster with The Rock. I did do that one. That one was fun. And I saw The Rock in person. And I talked to The Rock. But, like, it's so weird. Like, that blurs. Like, that was, like, such a blur. Like, I'm like, I don't even remember. That's so weird. I wish they would do, like, extended cuts, like Wanderlust. Like, I wish they would put out the scene. Because I did do Wanderlust. And I'm like, I want to see that scene. Like, it was on Universal. It was, like, a big production. I'm like, damn, I want to see it. Literally everything got cut. That's so funny. Was Get Him to the Greek on there?
Oh, let me see. Let me go back.
Because I was on that one, too, as an extra. With Russell Brand and Jonah Hill.
No, you have Wanderlust, Horny Birds, Walk of
Horny
Shame,
Birds.
Family Tree, Water and Power, Lola's Love Shack,
Oh my God.
Beverly Hills Cop, Viral Video,
Beverly Hills Cop.
Fat
Was that in
Chicks, Viral Video 2,
Oh, my own movies.
If I Could Turn Back Time,
Oh, it's
Don't
music
Forget
bits.
Me,
Okay.
Shoulda, It Gets Worse,
Shane Dawson.
Showtime, Freaky.
Oh, that's so funny. I wonder if the music videos, because some of those are like actual movies, like Water and Power and stuff.
Yeah,
That's
it
so
is
funny.
wild. And it's David's vlog. I don't know how David's vlog got its own thing.
That's crazy. Yeah,
6 Feet Under, your music video.
Wow.
The Doctors.
I was on that.
And then Blood Queens, Chicken Parmesan Heartbreak, and The Wrong Side of Mulholland Drive.
That's so funny. I wonder who put those on there, like production,
No
or they
idea.
just maybe somebody wanted credit, so they put that as like a thing on there.
Maybe.
I didn't know you could do it that easily.
Trademarks, fast talking voice.
Oh my God. Love that trademark for me. Oh my God, that's so funny. Wow. Oh God, I've actually been in lots of movies then. I would say I want to be in a movie, but they never came out. I don't know. They were always so shady. I want to see it now. Oh my God, like what? Like the scene with Ron Jeremy, like I can't remember what I did. That's like so weird now. And I remember it being shady, like there was no script. It was like improv. And I was like, okay, like every movie I did was like that. I was like, just improv your lines. Like, okay. No script to
You know those thinking too, because when like looking back at your music videos, you were like, oh, I was just like, you were acting so well, and you were like, oh, I was just copying another actor. I'm like, what if you copied like Meryl Streep? You could become like an Oscar winner.
Easily, yeah, for sure. I could totally do that.
You
But I
just
have to,
need the like movie, and then I think you could do it.
oh, for sure. But I think I'd have to like play a role Meryl Streep played. Because you know what I mean? Like I was
see.
copying someone.
You have to copy the exact.
Yeah, so I need to be in like the Deer Hunter or like one of those like Kramer versus Kramers. Then I could just copy exactly what she's doing. I think that's the way to go. Yeah, to have to like originate a role? Oh no, definitely not. But I could copy for sure. Maybe Jennifer Lawrence. I could redo the Hunger Games. Oh my God, did you know Dennis Quaid's son was in the Hunger Games?
Jack Quaid?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, who did he play?
He was one of the career tributes, and then he
Oh, wow.
killed Rue, and then Katniss killed him.
That's wild. And Dennis Quaid was like, yeah, he didn't want my agent. He did it all himself. I was like, is that true? But he still has Jack Quaid, so he should change the last name.
I like him though, because he also, when like the Nepo baby thing was going on, he was like making fun of himself being a Nepo baby. So
Oh, okay.
he was like in on the joke.
Love that.
Yeah.
I know. When people take themselves so seriously, it's like, okay.
Yeah.
Shout out Jack Quaid.
I like him a lot. He's on The Boys on Amazon Prime.
What's that?
It's a superhero show.
Don't like it. I love Dennis Quaid. I think he has a new movie coming out. Oh, he's playing like Ronald Reagan or something, which my dad like used to love Ronald Reagan. I don't know why, but we live close to the Reagan Museum. Have you been there?
My brother used to work there.
Slay.
What
What did he do?
I have no idea.
That's everything.
I have no idea what he did there.
I loved going there. I keep telling Moses I want to go. He's like, why? I was like, it's fun. It's just like fun to go. I don't know. We used to make a trip up here to go to it.
Didn't they have a plane in there?
Yeah, the Air Force One.
Yes.
And you could take pictures. Oh man, I wish I had those pictures. I was so fat every time I came off that. I was like, I looked humongous. Always. But I loved it. President's Day, they have like a whole reenactment. They have like President Lincoln come out. Like it's a whole thing. I liked it. Anyways, Dennis Quaid as Reagan. I love Dennis Quaid. I've seen him perform so many times in like little bars. I just think he's so great.
What does he do?
He like everything.
acts,
He
but-
pianos. No, he's like a good singer.
Is he really?
I think my weirdness, this is the JoJo SIWA effect I have. I think I thought it was okay to date older men because Dennis Quaid was in a movie called Great Balls of Fire where he plays Jerry Lee Lewis. And Jerry Lee Lewis is a 22-year-old rock star who was kind of like Elvis at the time and married his 13-year-old cousin. Oh. And the 13-year-old cousin is played by Winona Ryder, who was actually 18 at the time. But the sex scenes in that were like when I was a kid, because I saw it when I was a child, I was just like, oh my God, yes, I love it so much. Like it was crazy. They have like a whole scene of him like taking her virginity. And I was just like, I remember thinking like, this is it. Like this is okay, whatever. And he was like a grown-ass man and Winona Ryder looked like this like little girl in it. And I just remember being like, oh my God, yeah, that's what I want. That's like so hot. So I'm saying like the warpness of it all. Like I thought it was like okay for so long, you know, and I really did. I was like, okay, yeah, there's nothing wrong with a 13-year-old dating like I was dating like a 40-year-old, you know what I mean? But it's like, I think those like movies kind of warp you, and like JoJo too, it's like you have that warped sense of like, no, it's okay because it's like hot and I find older men attractive and like whatever. And then you're just like, look back, you're kind of like, ew. Even that movie, I'm kind of like, ew, why did they make a movie about this? Like that's kind of like sick. Yeah. There's no really reason, because at the end of the day, it was a biopic and Jerry Lee Lewis approved it because he like did the vocals. So I was like, so at the end of the day, they make him look good. I'm like, so why? You know what I mean? Like, again, I'm not saying Elvis whatever is right, but he didn't marry Priscilla, and like supposedly they didn't have sex until 21. I get the 14, like the gross, but I'm just saying like he didn't marry her at 13. Not to say it's any better, but anyway, separating artists from what they do, right? What did you say? Artists from
the art,
right? Okay. Anyways,
kudos for spilling.
Kudos, Mama, for spilling. I'm really trying to get Plain Jane, and we're talking. I feel like she's gonna come on, but I also don't know if I'm gonna give birth before she comes on. I have such a cute Plain Jane outfit too. I have it like all planned out. Normally he's not in drag when he does interviews, but I would love for him to come in drag.
Yeah, because Plain as like a drag character is kind of Trish coded, like the very like, you know, it's just like curvy, like big boobs.
Oh, I already have it. Yeah, mine's
big hair.
Yes. Yeah. Oh no, I live
stripper kind of.
Oh yeah, my favorite one is the with the finger, the
burger finger.
Well, yeah, but also the foam finger. I love that one with her little jersey. I love Plain. I hope she comes on. She's just so pretty. So
I know, I love her.
Love her.
It's funny. I literally started out like not liking her. I was like, oh my God, she's so mean. Now I'm like, live for her. Like that's my sister. Like I love
sister. But I do think of James Charles a little bit. Isn't that awful? Like whenever he says it, I kind of think of James Charles. I'm like, sister.
I kind of erase it, even because Tana says sister a lot now, and I kind of erase the James.
It'll always be James in my head, and I hate that. And he probably loves that. He probably thinks he came up with sister or something like that. But yeah, Jane is making me. We were supposed to have G on too. And she's like, oh, I want to come on. And I like wanted to come on too. I asked her first. But the whole dress scandal that I still got my $1,800, it's like, I'm waiting to get this money back. The guy keeps DMing me and he's just like, oh, I don't have the money yet. I'm supposed to get the money soon. And I'm like, well, I gave you the money. Give it back. So I think it's just like having this thing, because when queens come on, I really want to dress like them. And I just can't like doing another $1,800 to another person to make the dress. Maybe after I'm done being pregnant. Maybe that person will actually make my dress after I'm done being pregnant.
Yeah, it'll be easier.
I don't know. I feel like I'm never getting it, but I want her on too. But and Jane, all of them. We love the queens. I love all the drag queens.
We get into a little podcast drama.
Which one?
Not ours. Someone else's first.
Oh my gosh, I know. I was like, which podcast drama is it? Yeah, we love drama that's not me.
Randomly with the Pretty Little Liars podcast. It's another one of those like rewatch. I think it's the same like Podco. Is that what it's called? Christy Carlson.
Oh, they're always in drama. Someone else had an issue with Christy Carlson Romano on TikTok. They're like, not me beefing with Christy Carlson Romano.
Really?
24. I'm like, wow, why is everyone beefing with her?
I have no idea. Well, Podco is starting a Pretty Little Liars like watch back podcast, which is like okay.
Their whole thing is that, right? That they just do
watch back. So,
you know, Christy owns it.
Yeah, with her husband, right?
Yeah. I was like, all right, money.
And it's not the stars though of PLL. So it's like, okay, it's Lindsay Shaw, who's already on like the Ned's Declassified one. She's that girl that's with like the two other guys.
Oh God, that everyone is just like, we're over them. Yeah. Oh God, was she on the show too?
She was a guest role. She played like one of the girls' lesbian girlfriends. She was Shay Mitchell's girlfriend for a season or two.
And so she's hosting a podcast about it?
Yeah. Damn. With an actress, Tammin Sursok, who... Have you seen any clips of Pretty Little Liars? She was a girl. No. She was blind. She had sunglasses, and she had a little stick, and she would move the stick around. It was very
sounds like not a good show.
It was not a good
not
show.
At all.
At the time, I ate it up though. It was like, wow, this is everything to me. But
no,
didn't age very well. But they started a new podcast called Pretty Little Podcast, but the name already exists, and these two girls have already have this podcast. They have done over 100 episodes, and they already have like merch and everything for this podcast.
Oh,
but now these two girls that started their own podcast and just like took the name and like are claiming it. And they're allegedly supposed to have like, PLL stars like come in and talk about the show and stuff. So obviously it's going to like overshadow this podcast that's been up for like over 100 episodes.
Ooh, but did the original, first of all, the one that has all the merch over 100 episodes, are they the first to have that title?
They're the first ones that had it, yeah.
Are you sure? Because I feel like there's so many. Like, I think the Trash Tuesday girls were originally Bloodbath, and then there's the Bloodbath people like sued them and like, no, we're Bloodbath, but then someone else like, well, I was Bloodbath before you. Like, I feel like there's smaller ones that come out and they're like, I was actually this first. Do they have the trademark? The original one?
I don't think they had a trademark. There's two girls that started their own podcast. It's not like a, under like a company or production or anything.
I mean, no, that definitely sucks, especially for like you said, the underdog ones. That's so annoying. But I think that's why everyone does with, right? Like everyone says their names. Like we did oversharing with Colleen and Trish because there's like 5,000 oversharing podcasts.
Yeah, Just Trish with Trisha.
I wonder if there was. No, there was someone. I think there was like a Trish podcast. I think there's definitely been stuff with my name. Maybe Dish with Trish even was like a cooking show. I don't know. There's always something. Like I feel like there's always someone who has the name already. So what's the tea? Are they just like, sorry, we're not backing down? Because Pretty Little Podcast is a good name. I mean, they did Pretty Little Liars. Like that's a good name for the podcast.
Yeah, they basically just said that it's too late for us to change the name. And then
they said that? I'm sorry.
Yeah. Because Tammin was responded because everyone was like trying to stand up for these two girls.
The one that people don't like from Ned's Declassified?
No, the other girl, the blind. I think she can see in real life.
Okay.
But she played the blind girl.
Okay, got it. She's saying
like, oh, it goes through a whole production company, so it's like too late for it to change. But then the two girls were like, okay, well, if it went through a whole company, wouldn't they like look it up and see that it already exists with like 100 episodes?
I feel like it's like sometimes you don't see it for real. Like, I mean, I don't know. Do you know how big the other one is? Because sometimes I feel like you actually like may not see it.
I think if it has like merch and stuff already, you have to kind of.
But I mean, everyone has merch. Like, it could be 10 people watching.
100 episodes. And enough for like it to be a thing. Like if people, obviously the people who watch that podcast are the ones that like raised awareness for it. So I think
it was like an uproar. It wasn't just these two girls being like, "That's our podcast name."
No, because it got like written up in like articles and stuff. So I think it has to be big enough to where it would like make some noise. It kind of gives me like Jaclyn Hill. Remember, she stole like a website name for one of her companies from like another girl who was doing merch or whatever.
It was like the blanket or something. Yes, I remember that.
And she was like another influencer who had a following. She was just like a lot smaller in comparison to Jaclyn.
I didn't know who you were. Because that's what I'm saying though. I feel like Jaclyn probably like really didn't know, right? Because you would know not to just like blatantly steal. People are gonna find that.
The Lindsay and Tammin, the new Pretty Little Podcast 2.0, they invited the two girls to come on their podcast, but they're like, well, we don't like you can't because they're trying to like make up for it. But it's like
that's kind of a slay though, because then it's giving them like an audience, right? Because they're like such a big podcast. So can they coexist? You can't have both. Or no?
I don't know. I think it's hard when you have like the merch and stuff and you're doing kind of similar things. Like, what if there was someone came up with like Just Trish, but
they couldn't compare. Good luck. Try it. That's what I'm saying. Honestly, like for real, there is a more popular Trisha, like Trisha Yearwood or Trisha the Indian actress. There's two Trishas more popular than me. If Trisha Yearwood was like, I'm gonna do a Just Trish podcast, I'd be like, okay. Like, we're not gonna have a crossover, and she's more popular than me. It's not like it's like, and if anything, I think the confusion could help, right? Because let's say people are looking for Trisha Yearwood's podcast and they see me, it's like, oh, we'll watch this too. This person's entertaining. Like, you're searching for one thing and find the other, right?
Okay, that's a good way to look at the silver lining.
I think, because then it's like a little overflow or something. You see both. I'm honestly like, if that's the drama, like, I don't know if that's much drama, but okay. It's not even started yet. Why don't you guys let them start? No one's listening to Ned's Declassified, so I don't think they're going to be listening to Pretty Little. No shade, though. Like, so for real, no. I know, I'm trying to be nice today, because I was like, let me be nice, because someone called me a mean girl over the weekend. I'm like, I'm not a mean girl. It's the hormones. Whatever I say, I'm pregnant, so the pregnancy hormones. Did you see Mads Lewis? Do you know her?
Yeah.
You see her boyfriend?
No.
Talk about how he said he was complaining because he only made $4,000 for a TikTok that got 15 million views. He spent 1 hour and he only made $4,000 on it.
And it was not a brand deal just from like the creator program or whatever?
It was just from the creator program.
Oh my God.
Wait, oh my God, what? I need to know your take.
Why would he 1 hour?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Bad or good?
Bad.
Like, you're on his side?
No, I'm like, why? If you spent 1 hour on a little TikTok, what did he do in the TikTok?
I don't know. It got 15 million views and he spent 1 hour on it. He didn't specify the TikTok, I don't think. Otherwise, I would have looked for it. Wait, I feel like you're on Maslow's boyfriend's side.
No,
you think
I'm
that's not
not
fair? Because you're like, that's bad.
Of him to like complain about it.
Oh, I thought you meant like the money was bad.
No.
You're like, yeah, that's bad.
Because to spend like 1 hour and make $4,000.
That's what everyone was saying.
Just be happy that he gets 15 million views. I'll be happy with the views.
Right. That's the whole point of TikTok is you don't make any money on there. I think I don't even think I make 4,000 a month anymore off TikTok. Like, and I get hundreds of millions of views on my TikToks. But yeah, they just don't pay. But that's like not the point of TikTok. The point of TikTok is to get people into you, engaged with you.
It's like literally like zero effort. You know, some of the TikToks, you know, where it's like
a lot of edit. And
it's almost like a show almost, you know, and they'll have like different backgrounds. Or there's one guy who does like magic trick. It looks like a lot of VFX
Right,
stuff.
right.
That's what I was expecting to see.
What is he doing?
He walks into a kitchen and his mom is eating. His mom and his brother are eating dinner. And he's like, when you tell me you're the middle child without telling me you're the middle child. He just walks into the kitchen and they're eating. If you made $4,000 off that, kudos to you, mama. But like that, you should just be like, okay, cool, I made 4,000. Like you should be grateful. You shouldn't be complaining.
The way he was saying it was wild. Where he's like, it's only 4,000. Could you imagine if you got paid $4,000 for an hour-long TikTok that you made? How long do you spend on your TikToks for your work?
A few hours. Okay, I'm trying to do the math. $4,000 is probably what I make in
a day.
Well, let me think of my like normal job because that's like easier, I guess. And like more relatable. So like my office job in almost a month, $4,000. So that's 40 hours a week, over probably, but technically 40 hours a week.
Wow.
Yeah, like almost a month.
So you would take $4,000 for one
for
TikTok.
an hour, yeah, 100%. Especially for this low effort. Like that's why like anyone who he's like a cute guy, obviously. Okay. I was thinking about this too when I was like pulling like influencer looks for like when we reviewed the Coachella outfits, and it was like Noah Beck and all these like little cute guys who just like that's their TikTok is them like being hot, like, ooh, look at me get dressed and I'm hot, you know what I mean? It's like look at me do a little dance and I'm hot. It's like, okay, like it's so low effort, which like kudos to mama.
Kudos to you, mama.
The name of the episode is,
I love it. Kudos to you, mama.
Kudos to your mama for being hot and being able to do that. But then just don't complain because like literally, what is it? 40 times 4, 160? 160 hours is what it takes for you to make you know what I mean?
Yeah, no,
I
it's
work
wild.
160 hours for what you made in 1 hour. That's
you walking
actually
into the
insane.
kitchen. Yeah,
that actually is crazy.
That is crazy. That's wild. And like he's just like, I only made this. I'm like, what?
Doing the math. Oh my God, that really sent me spiraling. Oh my God.
No, I think that's what everyone was like, wait, what?
And that's me. I'm on like technically I guess the higher end of the spectrum. You know what I mean? When it comes to income. Like 880 hours.
That's
oh my God.
Crazy. He was so mad. I was like, honestly, like, again, that's like good. I think I make maybe 3,000 on TikTok a month, and I get like 90 million views, I think, or something. So I'm like, that's kind of good, actually. I don't get that on one TikTok.
Oh my God.
Oh. The influencers are so out of touch. And I feel like they just forget that people, like you said, you're not even working like minimum wage, like, you know, regular 9 to 5.
It's like a job that people would like dream for. You know what I mean? And that's like, oh my God.
Yeah, it's crazy. I was like, oh man. When I saw that, I was like, wait, is that like normal for like a TikTok? I was like, maybe, I don't know, but not for me either. And I'm like an influencer and I don't like
some people just need to be clocked and whacked. And like,
they just need like to have their income taken away for like a year to like work a real job to see like how hard it is. Cause like, and I mean it real job, right? Because it's like, it is so hard to earn money. Like when you're like waiting on people and on your feet and stuff like that, like it really sucks your life out of you. I've always said this about working, like it can suck the life out of you. And it's like, how out of touch, like to make $4,000 doing like one TikTok is like actually insane.
And it's fine to think that, but just never ever say it. Literally never say it out loud.
It's fine to think that. I don't think I want to be with someone who's like.
Yeah. But I think I'm sure to like maybe to other people in his little like TikToker group, I'm sure they'll be like, yeah, that hooks, man. But I think to say it and have like normal people who work real jobs who are like,
for sure that. No, yeah.
Who are not like.
But even if I knew someone in real life like complain about like how much money they make doing this, it's like me complaining about like, oh my God, I only made this much, whatever. I'll take a brand deal for $1,000. I really don't care. Like I said, I do cameos and I think I get like $300, like whatever. I'm like, that's I'll take it. Like, it's so crazy to me that it's like something so easy and you get that much money and you're still complaining. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't even think I'd want to be friends with someone like that. I'm like, that'd be weird. Like, I guess I knew some people who'd complain about money, but very few people I know do, like influencers. I think most of them know they're like lucky.
Yeah.
But then when you see that kind of stuff, you're just like, oh my God, these people, those are the people. Yeah, they need a reality check.
Oh my God.
For sure. I think that's why people do get upset, like with the Michaelas too, being like, try being an influencer for dad. It's 5 o'clock and I just got off work. I'm like, girl. Like people in the hospital, like saving people's lives at like midnight because they have to be called in. It's like someone got shot. Someone's having a baby at 2 a.m. My doctor has to be there.
And like literally doing the math as like far as like what people have to make. Like then if he did the math like about someone who makes like minimum wage, like how many hours they would have to work to make, you know what I mean?
Well, I have the math for that,
oh,
actually.
Did you really?
Okay, did you see, I saw this on Philip DeFranco. Did you see?
No.
Do you watch him? So it was like J.C. Waters versus your fave, Hassan Piker. So I was like, I told you I know Jesse Waters from Fox News because we went on this weird, like, I don't know if it was a date because I think he was married, but we went to dinner. I like, no, but it was very weird. And so it was some Fox News guy. He's like a Fox News anchor. And he basically said, you know, $20 an hour is the new minimum wage out here in California. So fast food workers are going to get $20 an hour. And he was basically like, they don't deserve $20 an hour, blah, blah, blah. He's like, okay, so $20 an hour, what is that? Like, you know, you make $100,000 in a month. And the guy who was like interviewing, what? In a year. And the guy that was interviewing him was like, actually, it's like 40,000. Like he was doing the actual math. And he's like, okay, but let's say they're married to someone who also works at the fast food. So they're making $100,000 a year together. And he's like, no, that's like only 80,000. Like his math was so not mathing. And his argument basically was just like, oh, they should be making $100,000 a year. First of all, they're not. And that's if you're married to a fast food employee, which is like so random to even think about. But his math was so bad. And he was like, these people are so stupid and so dumb. And I was like, and they're talking about California, right? Philip DeFranco's like, we live in California, like $80,000 a year if you have 2 people is still like not enough money to like
before
live.
Taxes.
Before
yeah,
taxes.
So probably they have 60,000.
Cost of living, fast food employees, which are like probably the most thankless job, but also do like the absolute most. Like they have to be standing and making food and just doing like the absolute most. I'm just like, these people have such bad takes. Don't worry, Hassan was like, you dumb. Like whatever, but seriously, sometimes they're so dumb. Like I'm not someone who's like, I don't know, like I'm not like a hater on Fox News. I don't know Fox News. I should be a hater, maybe, I don't know. Everyone hates them, I know that. But I was like, this is why, like you're literally so stupid, so dumb. You make so much money doing whatever you do. I mean, 8 million, I think they said. I think he looked it up. I think Hassan looked up the salary. He makes like 8 million a year or something. This Jesse Waters. So it's like, how are you really going to be like fast food workers shouldn't be paid? It's not coming out of your paycheck, first of all. Even if like we had to pay our taxes to pay fast food people, like they deserve more. Like it's just it's such a hot take. Like you make so much money and you're really going to be like, fast food employees don't deserve $20 an hour. I'm like, you're psycho. Like you're actually insane. And then the fact that he was just so dumb at the math because the person just told him 40,000 a year for one. So then he's like, okay, but you're married to someone that's like 100,000 a year. I'm like, where do you get that? Like such a dumb. I was literally looking at emails. I was trying to find like the original emails from him and I was like, I couldn't even like find them, but stupid. These people, like minimum wage is like, and usually the minimum wage jobs are like really thankless jobs. And I'm like, these people are so dumb. And it's like, we went to Wendy's, by the way. Go to patreon.com/JustTrish. We went through the drive-thru 3 times. Moses was like, what were you doing for so long? I'm like, I gotta go to the drive-thru.
And it was a
long.
rush.
It was a rush drive-thru. We went through 3 times to get different things. I ate so much that day. That was actually crazy.
You really didn't eat that much though. You were just full because you had breakfast.
Oh, we did. We had the French toast and bacon for breakfast. Then I had something at Costco. I had chips with Malibu at Costco, the Ruffles. We went straight to Wendy's, had the 10-piece nuggets and fries, the Dreamsicle, the cookies, the Cinnabon.
But you only had a little bit of the Dreamsicle, a little bit of the cookie, and a little bit of the Cinnabon.
I ate the whole cookie.
I ate the whole cookie too.
The cookie is so good.
That's so good.
I love Wendy's.
Shout out Wendy's. I had Wendy's Saturday because they sent us a $25 gift card. So
Oh, but didn't we have to like go? You had to go on an app or something.
You just have to add the code into your app. I knew once they said app. Yeah.
I thought they were sending them in the thing. I'm like, where's the gift cards? And they're like, go download it on the app.
Environmentally friendly.
Oh my god, that was so complicated. I was like, where's the? I mean, it's fine, but. Dang. I should probably try and get mine.
You should.
I don't like using gift cards. I always feel weird.
I know. But you can use it in the app and then you can order the delivery in the app. This promo.
Oh, I love it. Really? They deliver it to your car or what?
No, they deliver it to my house. I think you order it through the app.
Wait,
and then,
really?
Yeah. They partner with like DoorDash, I guess, because I just did it all on the app and used my gift card.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Shout out. We love to see that.
Should we get into our lead story?
I didn't think we were going to even talk about it because I was like, I don't want to add, because I just thought it's like adding so much like I feel like it wasn't that much drama because of Coachella and stuff like that, but I never had so much anxiety about a story because I guess I'm not really involved in drama like this, so I was just like, and I saw one TikTok with literally like, I don't know, 80 likes or something that's like, Trisha's a mean girl, and I was like, no, I just don't want to add more to the drama.
Oh,
but I thought your response was good. I saw a little like Reddit post from you, and I was like, oh, this is why we have Oscar. You're so good and PC.
Yeah, because it did kind of make me sad. So,
what part? Okay.
The whole thing that kind of happened, in case you missed it.
Oh, no.
Tana talked about on Canceled, your episode, about how she reached out to Brittany Broski after seeing her on Keoghan to see if she would be a guest on her podcast. And Brittany's reply was like, my audience would hate me if I were to be on your show.
It was like extreme. Yeah.
Paraphrasing,
yeah. She said, I love you, but my audience were like something crazy, so graphic. And that was my first time hearing about it too, like on the show. It was not like they prefaced me and told me any of this stuff. I was just like, okay, yeah.
Yeah. And then it quickly became like a Tana versus Brittany thing. And that element kind of made me sad because I feel like it's a bigger issue. And there's like a better discussion around it. Like, so seeing it quickly become like, oh, canceled fans versus like, Broski Nation, I think that's what her fans are called. And then like seeing like Brittany's comments get a lot of like, oh, you think you're too good for canceled, like stuff like that.
I didn't see that.
That's what
I saw mostly hate towards Tana, which made me like sad. I didn't know.
It was like both ways. Oh, okay. It was kind of like this little like war.
So sad all around. It's sad all around because truly I think it came from too, like even talking about it like came from like hurt, right? Because they're friends too. They like see each other out. They're friends. They're always cool with each other. I don't know Brittany. I never even had a conversation. Never saw her out. Nothing. But I think that was like kind of the hurt, right? Is like they're kind of friends and also they're fans because they're like, oh my god, so funny on Keoghan. Just like us too. Wait. But I think before we go into that, well, anyways, go ahead. You keep going. But I was like, because I just discovered Brittany only because of the crossover of our audiences. Because like literally, I think it was like last year since we started this podcast, everyone was like, Brittany Broski. And I wasn't like too familiar with her. But then the first things I saw of her was with Trixie. And it's like, oh my God, yes, Trish coded, like love this. So I didn't know much about it. But I just know with crossover specifically, like that's our number one requested guest.
Yes.
But then your Reddit post, and you put it eloquently, but you said something like that did she reject us?
Yes.
Wait, did you not tell me?
No, because I didn't want to make you sad.
I literally was like to Moses, I was like, wait, I just thought she like ignored us. And that's what we talked about on Cancel. I'm like, you know what? Leave me on red all day long because a rejection is horrible.
But mine was better because it was through the PR. So
what was the PR?
What?
What do you mean?
I reached out to her publicist.
Oh.
Yeah.
What was the response? I mean, because first of all, let me also clarify by saying.
It was nice. It wasn't like, they're very professional. It was like, and I was like, with any rejection, that's why I understood Tana. Any rejection, like, definitely is like, oh.
I've never been rejected either. So when I saw it, when you're like, the initial sting hurt us, and I was like, wait, did we get rejected? I just thought we never heard back. Which I know. Well, thank God, because I was just like, oh my God, thank God you didn't tell me, because I do let me also be known, like, I'm such an emotional, reactionary person, which is why I'm glad you did the Reddit, because, like, when she told me, my initial reaction is because I, like, love Tana so much. I was just like, that's so mean, like, I didn't think, right? I didn't think anything. I wasn't trying to be, like, a mean girl. I wasn't trying to instigate whatever. I was like, that's so mean. Because I think I did say something then, like, I was like, that's so mean, like, whatever, like, I think I said she's been on problematic podcasts. I don't know. I think I got a little like too maybe feisty for it, but it really wasn't. I wasn't out of that place. It's like I'm so emotional where now I can like remove myself and be like, okay, I've also been the Brittany in the sense of like I rejected a podcast one time and I was like so rude. I talk about this all the time. I was like so rude to I think it was like the assistant, and I was like, and I didn't know. I thought it was my people. And it was like her people, the podcast that I rejected. And I was like so mean for no reason. I was like, ew, I can't stand her. Like what? I was like so mean. So I've been on the Brittany side too. And I actually like see, I don't know, probably Brittany doesn't want me to say this, but I see a lot of myself in Brittany in the sense of like, okay, anyways, not to get whatever, but that part of the being whatever. I also don't know Brittany's sense of humor because I don't watch her podcast. So like her reply to Tana, a lot of people were saying that's her sense of humor. So I guess that all of that with that reaction, my reaction anyways, I was just kind of like, oh man, Brittany told this mutual friend of mine that like, for no reason, just like, no, people don't like me and stuff. And I was just, and this was recent. This was like a few months ago. And I just remember being like so hurt by that. I think I maybe told you. I don't know if I told you. Yeah. Well, I just remember being like really hurt because I was like, I try and change like everything, did my image for myself, for my family, like all this stuff like that. I've been just trying, right, for so long. And so to hear someone I don't know say that, I think I already had that bad taste in my mouth. And I never said anything because, like, again, people have the right to, like, dislike me. I get why I leave a bad taste in people's mouth. But to hear it from, like, a mutual friend that she was also, like, not talking nice. So anyways, that was my issue. And I feel like they didn't know that. So I feel like them telling me, I had this like initial reaction to be like, that's so mean. Like, you know, she's not perfect either. So just to clarify that. But I totally get Brittany's side. Anyways, back to that. So what did the publicists reject us for?
They just said like, we're going to kindly pass on Brittany's behalf with the quickness, but I appreciated the response.
Okay.
That's it.
Perfect. And I feel like that could have been a good response to Tana. Because I think Tana even says in the same episode that Theo replied back to her when she has to be on the podcast and he was like, I'm all potted out. And that was like, I don't know if you saw that part. And so she was like, oh, like, you know, and like, yeah, I feel like that. So again, I don't watch Brittany's podcast, so I don't know. Maybe that's her sense of humor to be like, oh my God, they would. She said something so graphic, and I can't remember. Like they would like decapitate me or something crazy. And so I think that's my initial reaction was like, that's so mean. And I think again, just like on Tana, I don't want to like speak for her, but I think it really did come in place of like hurt. It wasn't like trying to be like. Because she still, like, loves her, and she still, like, wants her to be on the podcast. And I think they are, like, friendly where they have, like, each other's phone number and they're friends out in public. And I think that's even worse, right? Brittany, like, talking crap about me to somebody, I get it. She just sees me as, like, a character or whatever, or my past or whatever. So, like, yeah, it hurt me even though I'm not, like, friends. But if it's someone that you're friends with and they're like, I love you, but absolutely not because, like, people would hate me, I would be like a little offended. But anyways, you had a good Reddit post back to you. No hate to Brittany. Honestly, like seriously, like I swear to you, I was like very much like love her. Like, you know, if my audience loves someone, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to love them too. And I watched her with Trixie and I was like, yeah, she's very Trish coded, like whatever. I don't know. But anyways. Okay.
No, I like Brittany a lot too. And like I've watched a lot of her YouTube videos and stuff. And I don't know, I just always thought she was very funny and like kind of like just like a relatable fun time, you know what I mean?
Right, and she also talks about like how Tana talks about me. The audience is very girls, gays, and days. Like that's like
it is very that.
There's podcasts that have that as their audience, and she says always that's her audience. So
yeah, and because so many people would just like ask us all the time, like since we started, Brittany was like, you know, the most requested
because she's like supposedly like anti-straight men like we are and stuff like that. Like, oh, I hate men.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, she doesn't hate men. I mean, she's obviously like on all these male podcasts.
Yeah.
Again, fine. And I say I like actually see myself so much in her, and like I like to be. I don't know what it is, just cool with the guys, vlog squad, you know, whatever. I was very much that. Not to say she's not cool with girls, but. You know, she obviously doesn't have a problem with. I have a problem with straight men. I'm very much whatever. That's a whole other thing. But
yeah, and I think like because normally, right, like not wanting to do a podcast, like it's like okay, like you know, depending on the reason, like no one is obligated to do anything they don't want to do, obviously. But I think it's just why like a lot of like Tana was her obviously, and a lot of like Tana's fans were her. It's because like okay, they are friends like privately, not publicly, and then. Thinking about who like Brittany has collabed with in the past, it's like what or like even publicly like talks about and like kind of promotes a little bit like what is the difference, and like really it is like a gender thing because and this is not like attacking Brittany at all because I didn't want it to be like a Tana versus Brittany thing. It's like okay, the fact that her audience would be so upset if she collabed with Tana, but then like you know, she talks about Maddie Healy a lot. She loves Maddie Healy, and Maddie Healy has said a lot of stuff. But then this past year, that's like very offensive, like racist, problematic. Then it's like, okay, but then the excuse, oh, he's a singer. Okay, whatever. And then Theo Von has platformed a lot of people who are like very homophobic and racist. He's talked about his jokes with like the N-word and stuff. But then it's like, oh, well, he's a comedian. Mm-hmm. Okay, like there's always just like a modifier for everything. Yeah,
who like has like a whole bunch of like things in his past. Yeah.
And then, but it's like, there's always like an excuse for like all these guys. It's like, oh, that's their humor or they're a comedian or they're a musician. Tana's like, at the end of the day, like Tana is an entertainer. And I just don't think like, obviously there is some like, I'm not excusing some of the problematic stuff, you know, like the death to all of them, whatever, to the wine tour lady. You know what I mean? Like not excusing
I was like, wait,
that.
I think that's Wendy. I got it. Yeah.
Not excusing that.
Yeah.
But like, if you're okay with, collabing with like men then who have done like way worse, like why is like Tana an absolute no?
I like especially like the homophobic stuff. I feel like you're just more sensitive to your audience, right? Like I got an offer last year for Piers Morgan. He was gonna come do like a sit down interview, and I was just like, yeah, absolutely. Piers Morgan's so like, you know, mainstream. I loved him from like America's Got Talent. I was like, this is so huge. But then when I found out like a lot of homophobic stuff he says, I'm like, well, I don't really want to like offend my audience that way, you know what I mean? Like you did something. And so I feel like a lot of straight people, they get away with like those homophobic remarks, like you said, pass it off as like, oh, he's a comedian and stuff, like just really so I think in general, like if she's taking her audience into consideration, like she told Hannah, because she really said like, I love you, but my audience would basically hate me if I did it or whatever. And then of course audience getting offended and be like, no, like this is, because I know it's like a perfect, again, she doesn't have to do it, obviously, but like it is a crossover audience, because when we see the top podcast right at the end of the year last year, it was always Brittany Broski, Trixie and Katya, like mine was up there to cancel. Like it was always, I always saw like the same 4. And so like obviously there's crossover audience. So it's kind of odd, but like your Reddit post was so like, I saw it pop up, I think, on TikTok, because I'm like not on Reddit. I was like, oh no, what did Oscar say? Because the first sentence was like, I don't know if I should get involved, or I don't know if I should say, or I don't know if I like, did you post on the canceled Reddit or our Reddit?
On the canceled one. And that was the one where like a lot of the fans were like, okay, like being like really mean towards Brittany and like comment, like wanting to like spam Brittany's comments. And then a lot of them too were like, and I know she passed on Trish, because people had asked me in a live stream and I was like, yeah, I was coy about it. I was like, I think she's just too busy. We did try, but you
That's
know,
so
maybe.
Funny. I didn't even know they said no.
But people were taking that and being like, this is why this is the real reason she wouldn't go on Trish.
And both me and Tana are like, well, I'll just speak for myself, but Tana's like right there with me, are like hyper aware. Like I'm hyper aware of why people like would not like me.
Yeah.
Like I'm shocked at the people that want to come on my podcast. I'm always like, really? Like what? So I'm like hyper aware with that for sure. And we have no connection. Do you know what I mean? Like me and Brittany have no connection, as opposed to I think her and Tana, they're like out.
Friendly, yeah.
They're friendly, you know, they've been friends and stuff like that. So I think it's like a little bit, cuts a little like deeper and stuff like that. But yeah, it was kind of, yours was so great, because that is like a good discussion. And we talked about this, the whole kind of theme of this podcast that ended up being that as like internal, like, misogyny sounds so like dark. I guess that's like wrong, but I have it too. I still have it, as we talked about, right? Like it's like, the way I would side with Sasha over Rebel, you know, it's just like, or I don't like Meghan Markle, but like, you know, what all this stuff. It's like, it is a little bit, and it's kind of just what you're like, I don't know, prone to think as like a woman. I don't know. Like I honestly didn't even want to, I felt really bad being involved, because I do feel like I'm an emotional reactionary person where no matter what Tana tells me, I'll be like on her side. But also this one too, I think because I had a little bit of bias with Brittany not already liking me to a mutual friend, it's kind of like, and so I've always like kind of harnessed that. Even, and I think that's why I had so much anxiety over the weekend, is that's kind of like, oh man, you know, it's like, I don't know. And also, like, again, being, now that I'm older, I'm like 35, they're 25. It's like, I've been on all the sides. I've been on the side of like being exposed to like private messages and stuff like that. But it's like being the one to like say something not that nice to like rejection. But again, I guess if it's like they're friends, maybe that is like her sense of humor. I don't know. But I get why it would hurt Tana. I don't know. But maybe that's just how she is. You know how some people are just so like blunt and so like,
yeah, I think
dramatic.
I could see, this is totally me projecting, but like if I was in Tana's situation, it would be like the context, like, oh, she just did Theo Von, and like knowing all the other like people that she supports or has been on, it's like, okay, how am I worse than all these other people? You know what I mean?
Oh, it's definitely a hurt. And I know for a fact she was like hurt by it. I get it. And it does suck. And like you said, the whole Tana then versus Brooke. I just saw more hate on Tana. I guess I didn't see, I'm sorry, Tana versus Brittany. I didn't see any of the other. I just saw a little bit, and like luckily it kind of like died down. That's why I was kind of like, maybe we shouldn't talk about it. But then I kind of felt bad that I was like even there and like a part of it and said anything, because then people are like, Trisha's a mean girl, and I was like, like sorry, like
it's a very like tricky thing to navigate, and that's another thing too. Where I feel like you can have like that surface level, like, you know, girl versus girl thing, but if you look at like the deeper reasons, same with like everything else, it's like, why are, you know, people like conditioned to like be harder on girls, or feel like you can't really collaborate with girls, but then like men, and it's not, that's why also it's like the men that she's like collaborated with or like supports or whatever, it's like they're all popular and really successful, so it makes sense why she would do it, you know what I mean, or why her team would also agree, because it's not just her, right? She has like a lot of people behind her and stuff,
but it's not like Rhett and Link, it's like controversial people that have like a lot. We still love, and that's why I never talked about that incident either, like with the Brittany, because it's like people ask all the time and we always are just like, we love her, and it's true, I really do, and I think like she's killing it. And I think it is hard to be a female, like you said, period, and be criticized for everything you do. But, you know, you really have to think about it. Like I said, with the Piers Morgan thing, I was like, oh, man, yes. And then I was thinking, even Joe Rogan, I was like, what did I say that day, like a couple weeks ago? Or Elon Musk. I was like, I love Elon Musk. And I was like, you know, he's like transformed. And so, like, seriously, really, like if he was like, yeah, I'll come on your podcast, like so many of my audience was like so upset by it that I was like, there's no way, even if I got like 1 billion views, I'm like, I really don't think I could do that to like my audience who's like so loyal, you know what I mean, for one episode for this person who's like transphobic, you know what I mean, like allegedly. I don't know. I think he is. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure.
Okay. So yes, no to Elon Musk. But it is, it's a weird thing. And yeah, like he's a guy, so I don't know. It's like one of those things where I'm very much, that's why I see myself in it, where I'm like, or a Theo or a Joe Rogan, they have so much power and so much pull, and you're just like, yeah, I want to be like with them and, you know, get their audience.
Totally, yeah. And at least to Brittany's defense too, like the Theo Von thing, like he was saying, I didn't watch the whole thing. I just saw like a couple little clips, and he would say like some out of pocket stuff or whatever, and then Brittany would like hold her ground and like, you know, stick to like her beliefs and stuff. So
I saw the clip about Matt Rife where he was kind of like brushing off the Matt Rife thing. He's like, did he get canceled? I just know that girl was being crazy or something, is what Theo said, which was like wild. And then she's like, wait, what? No, his whole special was about like hating women, and she did like, so yeah, that's, you know, yeah, that's something to be said for it too. So, yeah, I know there's a ton of people like that don't like me for whatever reason. Like I'm polarizing, whatever. So it's like I never held it against her, and I still don't, and I still love her, and she still can come on the podcast because, you know, whatever, we love you.
And like my
crossover.
And that's what I was saying too. Like my thing is too is like, instead of like seeing all like the mean comments back and forth, like, you know, to Tana's way to Brittany's way, like I think if you, this is such like a, you know, kumbaya Barbie movie thing, but like if you support a crossover or whatever, and you want to see like two people collaborate, like I think instead of going to someone's comments and being like, oh, you think you're too good, like the better way to actually make a change would be like, hey, like I watch both of your podcasts and I would really like to see you collaborate. Like that's
I saw a lot of those comments. I did see a lot of those where they're like, I'm both. I want to see the crossover.
Yeah.
Like we're not going to be mad at you. So yeah, it does suck. It became, and so many people had so many opinions about it, which I forget how big canceled is. Like our podcast is cute for sure, but podcast gets like 1 million views per one episode of just them talking. And I'm like, oh my God, that's like so crazy how it is. Cause like you said, we've talked about people. Oh, we talked about something beforehand where we talked about someone and no one cared, but then it gets mentioned on canceled, and it's like, wait, but we talk about it all the time. So I guess it's like this whole thing. So, and I know for a fact, I can say this wholeheartedly. Like Tana's like actual girl, like loves like girl influencers. She loves to be with like, you know, all of them. So it's like, I think it really was just like out of a place of like hurt and stuff like that. And I feel like that's the only reason it was brought up. I don't think she would have brought it up if it like didn't bother her. So I think it's like eating. It's kind of like I said, the thing where she meant to talk to a mutual friend of mine. It kind of was like eating at me for so long. And then that happened. And I was just like, that's so mean and stuff, like, because I just like brought up all those like feelings again, because that's all I could think of. I'm like, I haven't heard anyone talk bad about me to anyone in like so long, and then that of all things, I was like, oh no, and it made me like so sad. But anyways, but it happens. At 25, I was just like, I was worse than all of it. I was exposing everyone for like the littlest things, and I was talking about everybody and every influencer, especially girl influencers. Oh my God, I was like such a hater. I was just like, they only have it because they're dating this person, and and still to this day, you guys see it sometimes where I'm a little bit harder on women, and I totally get that. And where like I feel like I'm really like brainwashed into thinking that like, you know, I don't know, it's weird. I do. I really love Brittany. Like the fact that we're wrapping up. Oh my God, it's so long. So yeah, no, I love all of it. And yeah, collab with who you want to collab with. And I don't know. That's it.
Yes.
Okay.
But hold to your morals. No double standards. Not just Brittany. Look, everyone, viewers too.
I'm like a big double standard person over here. I say and do different things still. I try not to. I really try not to, but it's hard. We're all human, especially when you're 25 and trying to be an up-and-coming influencer. And, like, I mean, she's pretty established, but I'm just saying, like, you're trying to get more audience. You really kind of...
And hold on to it, I think is a big thing, too.
Yeah,
like,
you want to stay relevant.
To hold on to
and Theo's huge. Like, Theo's a big one, and, you know, whatever. I get it.
I get it, too. But just give everyone a little grace, and... Yeah.
Thanks for watching. That was good. And you had a great Reddit post. Thank God for Oscar keeping us all just a little like grounded. You had a good voice for us. I was like, okay, I like that. Yeah. That's why I was like, do we talk about it? And you're like, yeah, that's how I was like, oh, okay. If you're saying, because at first I was like, maybe we just don't even like acknowledge it. Like,
dialogue. Yeah.
But that's not what we do here.
Gotta just address it.
You speak very eloquently on it. I just ramble. I get heated. Not even heated. It's just so emotional. So if I talk too fast, it's almost like just there was 1,000 thoughts in my head this weekend that I wanted to say, and I was just like, okay, let me just get it all out, whatever. And hopefully it made sense. And yeah.
Well, we like everyone, so that makes it easier too. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Who don't we like? Well, it doesn't matter. We gotta wrap it up. I'm like, we probably don't like everybody.
Well, I mean, everyone involved with this little drama, whatever.
Oh, for sure. Girls all the way. I'll never, like, 35 now, I'm never, like, going to hate on a girl ever. You know what I mean? Even though they hate on me, even, like, Trisha's the worst. Like, I totally get it. You know, that's why I never, whatever. And I still am not hating. I was just explaining why I, like, had this, like, a little bit of bias there. But it's, like, I really don't hate. And honestly, I think she's crushing it and killing it. And I love it. So, also, I'm 35 and they're young and 25 and just living their lives. All right. Lord knows who I was clapping with at 25. Don't even go there. Just all wild. Just all bad. Love you guys so much. Thanks for watching Just Trish, and we'll see you in the next episode. Send a podcast up on Patreon on Wednesday. See you guys. Peace.